just start off the podcast. So thank you, Jay, for coming back, and this is our new guest, Taharqa. He might be new, but I've known him since like back in middle school. So we've been friends for like forever.
We have, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my boy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Very wise for his age.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm 34 now. So
correct.
And I'm getting a new house. I'm beating the average curve of like a homeowner. I think it's like 45 nowadays for like our age.
Correct.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm ahead of the curve.
45. You're saying is the average age for a first home ownership in the U.S.
Like yeah.
Correct.
I could be wrong. That was the last number that I heard.
I applaud.
But the thing is, it's not like, oh my god, 45. That's like an unimaginable number. No, it's pretty realistic from like where we're at.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, I've been renting houses for a couple of years because I haven't bought one yet.
You're not the only one.
My man.
Well, but the thing is, like, it's gonna take literally everything I have though. So like, I think that's normal part of the process. Right?
Is it?
For sure. Like, I mean, how else are you gonna come up with all that money?
It probably is for a lot of people. You know, it's like an investment, like a risk. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything's a
Maybe
risk.
not for everybody, but for most probably.
Dude,
For
I
most,
had a fortune cookie, and it said the greatest risk is not taking any risk at all.
I like that.
Take it however you want.
Fortune cookies are very wise at times.
Yeah.
They're
Full of
also
fortune.
delicious.
And they're also very cheesy at times.
And full of calories. Oh, okay.
Distinct calories.
So I do have a couple things in the agenda, right? So the
Great.
last podcast, Jay was here, and some of my friends saw it, and they were giving me like positive criticism or things that they noticed, or I'll listen to feedback. One of the things they were saying that Jay is the travel guy and Xavier was like the military guys because you guys won't stop bringing it up. So anytime you bring up anything related to travel, I'm gonna take a swig. You know? Don't make me dry, please.
One
That
time
sounded really gay. I didn't mean to say it like that.
One time I was in Japan and I was drinking, and
Damn, you came quick.
Oh my god.
I didn't expect that. All right, cheers to that. Oh man.
I'm glad you gave us some beers because we're gonna need that one.
But yeah, so I thought that was a funny thing to say. And another thing, people were saying that when we were just talking about like the political sphere, we're not gonna get into that now. That's not the point of today's podcast. But they were saying that when it comes to the political sphere, people on the left tend to be in an echo chamber. So like what we're doing is pretty much the exact same thing.
Yes.
So like you and I like believe like ideologically, politically, like in similar tune along with Xavier. So I thought it'd be a good idea to bring Taharqa because he's more of a wild card than anybody else. So he has like ideas from all over the place. So I feel like that would work.
I tend to here and there.
yeah,
All the time. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But like I mean it in the best way. So yeah, he's like the wild
This
card
is my
kind of
first
guy.
podcast, so thank you for the invite. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. So okay. So what is your reason being here?
My reason being here?
Yeah. Just for today.
Let's say I'm the anti-hero.
Okay. So you came with an agenda.
The agenda
You're not the hero
is
people
to fight the agenda.
want.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's right. But no, not necessarily. I'm intrigued to be here.
Is it nerve-wracking at all?
A little.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a tad, but at the same time, it's
Well, the thing is,
like anything else.
Okay, you know, I should have told you guys this sooner, or I should have told you this sooner. But before the podcast, I tell people say be responsible for your words. You know, you can say whatever you want here. Like, there's no censorship. I say whatever the hell I want to say. I'm not like monetized. Like, I don't really give a damn. But your reputation is up to you.
In this day and age, you have to be careful.
I'm not. I don't care.
See,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
there was a whole past conversation about that on the last podcast. Was it? Or no, was it outside the podcast we talked about
We
that?
talk a lot about that.
Yeah, we do. See, I stand realistically in the middle. I think you stand a little bit more of
On the right.
screw any moderation of what I say whatsoever, within reason. And then there's people that also are on the opposite spectrum of that, which is moderate everything. And I feel like I'm a little bit more in the middle with that, where I'm like, yeah, I think it's good to like be absolutely honest and talking about what you love, but also a little bit of moderation from time to time.
I agree.
Yeah, just me.
Okay. Maybe it's not a one-to-one parallel story, but back in the day in Russia, there was like a lot of like military stuff that would fuck up like the normal civilian, right? And for them, trust is like a form of currency. So if I show up with like an ugly haircut, I expect you to like say something about my ugly haircut. Like if you say I should not have taken offense to it, I would believe you more because the fact that you're being more honest.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So like anytime people hide who they are, what they trying to say for whatever ulterior motive, like it's frowned upon in like in Russia because of like the culture back then. So like I kind of adopted that. I like the idea. Like that's
absolutely
the thing is like the worst quality about you is also sometimes the best quality about you. So I'm gonna be 100% honest with everybody and say where I want. It will hurt, but most of the time I do it with good intention. I don't go around just like saying shit just to say shit.
Remember what I said, a belief that I've always had, I haven't told you this yet, is I've believed for years, which is that today's weaknesses can be tomorrow's strengths. Right? So you just have to embrace them.
Elaborate.
You know, leverage off them. Right? Okay, so this is all anecdotal, but it's the first thing I think of is my weakness used to be that I loved to be in the garage all the time, and I actually was quite antisocial originally. And I'd be in the garage, and I'd be building stuff all the time, and it was a huge weakness in middle school and high school, right? I didn't make a ton of friends. I had friends, but you know, I wouldn't get invited to very many parties or this or that or gatherings in my teenage years. It was kind of a weakness. We'd be building stuff in the garage all the time, and then it's today's strength because now I've monetized it, and it's what I do for work. And now I'm able to reach more people doing it, and I enjoy it, and you know, it drives me crazy sometimes, but now it's like today's strength.
Yeah, you're like a different person now, though. Right?
Yeah, and then also other examples would be like, okay, let's say today's weakness is you hurt your knee or your ankle, right? You can't do basketball or football anymore, but you pick up hiking instead. So you embrace the change to where you're not doing, you know, really aggressive sports, but now you're hiking instead. Now you might fall in love with hiking. And right, so it's like about embracing a change or embracing something that's a weakness right now, and it actually can lead to like a good outcome. It could be tomorrow's strength.
It's crazy that you tell me all this because I adopted that philosophy like years ago. Because a similar story when I was growing up, I was always been like the logical guy, the computer guy, the nerd, the math, the numbers, everything makes sense. No emotion, no creativity. You know, I took the test where it tells you your personality. I'm the straight up robot kind of guy. With knowing that, growing up, I realized that I had to, like, in order to be better at myself, I can't be better at what I'm already good at. I got to be better at something that I'm bad at, which is creativity.
You have to be better at something you're bad at specifically?
Yes. Yeah. So I was never creative. So, like, I picked up the piano. I do video editing. I do stuff like this, doing podcasts. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are things that I'm not good at. I also picked up a lot of books about, like, emotional attachment. And so, like, I'm trying to balance who I am, you know, so like there's no weaknesses.
I think you can boil that down to you like challenge and you like personal growth through challenge.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make yourself better at something you're already decent at, then it's not really huge personal growth. But if it's something you're terrible at, I think you strive for that challenge, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and it feels different. I don't know how to. It's like imagine you have a bruise and it's just you can't stop touching because it feels so weird.
Oh, it's like
does that make sense? It just
like
feels weird. I like
you
it.
Can't stop picking at.
Yeah, something like that. A little masochistic. I mean, what?
He said masochistic. No. My gosh. Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, bro. Okay. So.
No, I was always the type of kid that was. Well, no. Let's be honest here. I was the fat kid. Long story short, I was always the fat kid that everybody picked on and everybody really didn't bother about. But at the same time, I got older.
Wait. When we were growing up, I thought you were like one of the cool kids. Like no one ever fucked with you like in a good way.
Exactly. That's because I never let that show. Exactly. That was in the background. Everybody has a different view of everything, correct? Same as everything. It's all perception. Everything is perception. All it is basically you going through your specific life, going through everything that you're going through, not worried about what everybody else is thinking anymore. Because, I mean, to be honest, it took me a while to not care.
Curious question. Did you come to this realization post-30?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
This was definitely high school.
Okay.
Yeah, this was high school.
That's that's an early realization.
Had to. Yeah, it was 11th grade, dude.
Yeah, because it takes people a long time to get to like that level of self-realization.
Correct.
You know, it's funny, Taharqa, is you say that you were like really heavy, you were fat as a kid, right?
Yeah.
My nickname in elementary school leading up till halfway through middle school, kid you not, was Rat Boy.
Rat Boy?
Wow. Yeah, my own friends called me Rat Boy. And they didn't say it in a derogatory way. I was Rat Boy, and I was a sprinter, 100-meter dash sprinter, but I was super skinny because I got really addicted to video games when I was around like 10 to 14 years of age, something like that. I'm talking really, really addicted to where I'd even skip eating food because the food would get in the way of playing games.
Understood.
So I was actually opposite. I was kind of like anorexic without the mental issues associated with it, and I just didn't eat. And so I was actually super crazy skinny, and that led to me being insecure and like not confident in my body and confident in who I am, and then it all kind of feeds. But then on the surface, of course, I'm just like happy and bubbly, and So it might be opposite ends of the spectrum, but yeah, I kind of can slightly relate to that.
Yeah.
It's the mask.
Yes,
everyone has a mask.
That's what I was about
right?
to go to exactly.
Yeah.
It's that book. Yes, everybody's wearing a mask.
Is that a book?
No, in the movie, basically, necessarily with Jim Carrey when he was going to the.
Yo, dude, don't even get me started with Jim Carrey.
I know.
Oh no,
dude. They took my boy. I'm upset. I'm upset that they took my boy. Oh my god, that's my dude, man.
What's your thought? What's your thought?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
That was not Jim. That did not look like Jim, hands down. I don't know who that was. I don't know what it could have been an alien.
That's what I thought. Maybe.
I thought. I don't know. All I know is that was weird to me.
Hold that thought. Speaking of aliens, that's actually today's theme. So I'm dressed up with my science
I know
scientist theme, and then we're drinking like space beer and all that stuff. Have you guys ever been in one of those interviews where you dress all professional, but then like when you stand up, you realize I'm wearing shorts. I'm just one of those situations.
You mean during Best of 2020 remote working?
Indeed. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like wearing a full blown suit, but I'm in my underwear the whole time. This is one of those situations. I'm in my own house. I can dress wherever I want.
You want to know a secret that only a few people know? Should I say this? Not always. When I film my videos, I film videos for a living. Not always, but sometimes when I film, you only see me shirt up. Ever in the videos.
Only shirt
so
up.
Sometimes
he's one of those avatars from the metaverse where they don't have any legs. You know what I'm saying?
He's just floating. That's what it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sometimes
he never has a struggle with taking his shoes off.
That's a good one. I like it.
Oh man.
Well, I'm excited to hear about aliens and everything that we could possibly dig up, because I feel like that's a huge field, and a field that obviously is getting bigger and bigger every year.
Before we do that,
field that's been around for a very long time.
Before we do that, quick pause. Okay. Anyways, back to the what's the saying? Back to the Mad Hand.
Aliens? Back to
what we were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you saying, Jay?
Back to matters at hand.
Yes, that was the word. Yes.
What was it?
Back to matters at hand.
Was that what I said?
That's what I said.
Okay.
That was what
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to what I was saying. Anyways. Yeah. Well, you came with the story, right, Jay?
Well, I mean, when it comes to talking about aliens, I mean, I've got. Okay, so there's something for a while I've wanted to dig into and research and look into and share with people. I kid you not. Every single time I try to dig into it, I can scour Google, I can ask ChatGPT, I can ask other AI, and nothing is ever able to find the story. Unless you know the exact name of the cave, you can't find it anywhere on the internet. And it is the wildest, weirdest thing. And what the story is, let me know if you guys have heard of this. I think this was 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 tops, so not a super long time ago. There was somebody that was an explorer exploring some mountaintop, either Siberia or Russia, and he had a prominent name. There's pictures attached and everything. I think it was about 20 years ago, because it was not a digital picture. So this guy's looking for a certain something, and he finds a cave, a very high elevation cave, and the opening is only, from the pictures, a couple feet across, where you can tell it's a hole in the mountain, but it's not a giant opening, right? And he drops his climbing rope into there, and he climbs down, and he takes a bunch of pictures. You can see them online when you remember the name of this place. And it is the most intriguing thing. It is a cave, and you drop down, and it's vertical, and the walls are monolithic slabs that are perfectly chiseled flat. And there are perfect right angles, and the cave goes down, I think, 80 meters, and then it opens up into a big chamber. And they did another exploration, either Smithsonian or somebody else. And again, this is really hard to look up. Another group came in, and they then documented it and made a sketch of the shape of the cave. I don't know why they didn't do sonar or something like that, but there is a sketch that you can find, and the cave is strangely cube in shape. And the walls are monolithic slabs, and conspiracy or not, people have related it to the exact same quality, size, and shape as the slabs in the Great Pyramids in the King's Chamber. And they're just giant and huge with perfect right angles on the corners. And there are pictures this guy shared on some website where he's taking like very sharp angle pictures where he's, here's the slab. And instead of taking a picture like this, he's like doing it right along, and you can just see our reflection of light. It's almost perfectly smooth going for 20, 30, 40, 50 feet.
Oh, what the heck?
And
That
nobody...
is wrong.
Yeah, the last time I actually remembered the name of this place and looked it up, the current research shows they have no idea. It's either a lost civilization or it's something else going on that none of us have any idea what the hell it is. And I kid you not, I would love to dig it up right now, but since I keep forgetting the name, even AI can't find it. Like, you can say, hey, there's a thing here, and it won't have any idea what you're talking about. It's the weirdest thing, almost like it's been scrubbed from the internet, and unless you know the name of this cave, like Petrovisky Cave or something like that, you can't find it. But once you remember the name and you type it in, you can find the accounts of it. Really weird. And so there's ties to, well, was that a past civilization? Was there alien influence on building that? Was that an old temple or an old energy chamber? Like, the theory of the Great Pyramids being an energy resonation chamber. Those same theories apply to this like mountaintop cave that is strangely cube in shape with straight walls. It's the craziest thing.
It's a tad eerie.
So when these scenarios happen where somebody discovers something like this, like, is the government suppressing it, or like there's not enough interest of people going checking it out, or like what? There's like a million questions racing through my head right now.
Correct, Sam. I'm highly intrigued. I was on the edge of anticipation waiting for the name.
Well, and it kills me that I can't, because the last time I forgot the name and then some like song was playing and I remembered the name then, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's still there. For some reason I keep forgetting the name, but if I had to guess, first of all, the cave admittedly is in a very inaccessible spot.
Clearly, obviously.
Yeah, and so I don't think there is a risk of random people going and exploring it and taking YouTube or Instagram photos of it and stuff.
Right.
It is like you need to be an expert mountaineer to get to it type thing. Which makes it more intriguing.
That might be why they weren't able to bring like technology to do like the scan or.
That would make sense.
Correct. Something with echolocation might have been nice in there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And another thing.
But what question? So, what's your theory? Is this alien or ancient civilization? Because when you were mentioning like how how precise everything is, like, can our current technology even get to that point?
We can.
Really?
Can. And from the pictures I've seen, you can tell that they are not laser smooth edges. You can tell they're ridiculously smooth, but you can see like a little dimple here and there. And so, going back on your previous question really fast, I would say if there were some entity in presence that wanted to suppress information, if it was already something that had very few information about it, there's only been, I think, 2 total visits. You had the original guy, and then there was a follow-up team that went and investigated. There's only been a total of like 6 people ever to take pictures inside there. Very easy to contact a media corporation or Google and say, hey, we're so-and-so government, we need you to do a cease and desist. These search things cannot pop up, and luckily there's only like 6 people or whatever who've ever taken pictures, so very easy to wipe that from the internet. Unless
we talk about it. Unless we talk about it on the podcast.
Yes.
Correct.
If I could just remember the name.
It's one of those situations where you're gonna have to ping me the name, and I'll put it into the editing, and then we'll figure it out. I'll find some picture off the internet or something.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Okay, so when you were telling me you wanted to do like a podcast with Alien, I ran into a struggle where do I believe what I read on the internet about these alien conspiracy that I looked up? So like when you were saying all that, like I'm also suspicious. Like is that a conspiracy theory, or am I thinking too deep into this? Like how reliable are the sources that you found on the internet? Like does that ever bring up like skepticism for you?
So the first time I discovered this, I heard it somewhere, and I looked it up. I think I saw it on like an alien TV show. I looked it up, which I do sometimes if it's a cool story, and it was a real thing. Because I remembered the name from the show, and I looked it up, and it was a real guy. I guess this guy was an expert mountaineer / worked for some geology company that did like markers and like map making or something like that. I looked it up, and this guy was real. I'm fairly certain in his credibility. The second team, I haven't done the time or the investigation to see if that was a real legitimate team, because I keep forgetting the name. But I want to do a quick side note here about, I think you asked something about how it was made or whatnot. Okay. I say, aliens absolutely exist. The extent of which they live on this planet or amongst us, I have no idea. But I will say in recent years, I think the idea of lost ancient civilizations is getting more and more and more possible. Because 10,000 years goes by and even most rock will start to crumble. Let's say you had a super megalithic giant rock civilization that, let's say, was 50,000 years ago. If it's been exposed to weather, almost nothing's going to last 50,000 years.
Right, you'll see like the little decay or like getting chipped or something.
Yeah.
Some force of nature.
Or if your civilization was inside of a cave where there's no weathering taking place,
and you
could stick around. What's that?
And if you have your own ecosystem within there, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like these caves in China and like Thailand where like they have their own ecosystem, like they have their own like weather system and everything. It's ridiculous.
The huge ones, the huge caves.
Yeah, people, I don't know how they could survive down there.
But it's
pretty cool though.
Some of those caves, they have like lakes, little rivers, and stuff, and like there are creatures of like they're like fishes that only been exposed to that amount of life. The pond, the size of that pond. Right. So like there's no outside forces. There's no predator. There's no prey. They just have this. I mean, they're probably prey, but like they're like a tiny little ecosystem, and that's all the whole entire lineage is.
Correct.
So,
when they haven't been touched.
Yeah.
At all.
Wouldn't that be a phenomenal, I would argue, almost a bit of a spiritual experience to, let's say you're maybe one of the first people or the first person to stumble across an untouched ecosystem in a closed-off cave, and maybe you're respectful and all you do is just look at it. But it'd be so cool to just look in and see something that potentially has never had, what?
Eats you? Like, why do you keep fucking with nature, dude? What?
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. No, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
So like you look down into the cave and then you see something that's walking that you have not ever seen in your life or anything like that.
I'm gonna fuck with it.
And it looks back up at you at the same time and you're both like meeting eyes and it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you
fuck with it? That would be a little cool.
Well, if it's got eyes that are looking at me and it's walking, I ain't gonna. I'm running.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a cute fish in a pond, I will admire and adore that and be like, what a blessing this is in life.
This man said a...
But if it's standing up on 2 or 4 legs,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't be scared, but I would have jetted.
You want a freaking Wendigo? I think we're good on that.
Oh, Wendigo is Native American.
That's correct,
right?
And I believe North Carolina has stories of the Wendigo as well.
Yes, I do.
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm not even.
What is there a story worth sharing about Wendigo? Do you have a story?
I do not.
I mean, a couple months ago, I started digging into the Brown Mountain Lights.
Oh, okay. I remember you were telling me about this. You were waiting for this. Okay.
Brown Mountain Lights, baby. I'll dig into the alien part of Brown Mountain Lights, but because I was digging into that, I started digging into Native American legends. And I think there's huge credence, actually, to like populations that have been in an area for a long time, and generation after generation, they've told their children stories and legends, right? An example, right? I'm doing a loop. I'll come back to the main point.
Okay.
An example, in the Pacific Northwest, where I was mostly raised, there was the Native Americans, including up in British Columbia, so Western Canada, stories of the Thunderbird. And those stories extended down to actually Arizona as well. And the story of the Thunderbird, I'm paraphrasing, so don't hate me if I'm totally wrong. Native American children, or parents would tell their children stories of the Thunderbird, that if you don't behave, if you don't like listen to us, if you're not a good child, before the next thunderstorm comes, the Thunderbird will come and pick you up and swoop you away and you'll be gone forever, so you better listen to us. And it was a way to kind of keep a little bit of social order with the children and the parents. And the story of the Thunderbird, this is going to blow your mind. The description of the Thunderbird, it was big enough to pick up children and cattle. Apparently, I forget the exact wording they used for the dimensions, but like in modern linguistics, it was like as wide as a 3-lane, 4-lane highway. Huge wings, it could pick up cattle, and it would fly down before a thunderstorm and pick you up, right?
Specifically?
Yeah, so we found, this is actually like a 100-year-old discovery, the pterotorn. It was a giant bird during the Ice Age, and the Natural History Museum has a picture of a pterotorn. It is the biggest flying bird to have ever existed, and they know the mechanics of it was so big, no matter how big it was, it couldn't really flap and fly like a bird. It had to glide on updrafts in front of a thunderstorm. So they lived predominantly in areas with rough weather. They'd perch on cliff edges, and then when there's an updraft during a thunderstorm, they could glide around and fly, pick something up, and go back up to gliding around and go back to their nests. So the pterotorn, Native Americans, you're like, oh, crazy, they're making up these dumb stories. No. It was based on the pterotorn. So now go back to North Carolina, and you've got the, what's it called, the wombi?
Wendigo?
Wendigo, yeah. It's like, it begs the question, is it based on something totally real? Because if so, that scares me.
I thought the Wendigo was like humanoid figure with like 2 legs, 2 arms.
It's a shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter?
Indeed.
Oh man, I'm tripping that.
Another word is there's another word for shapeshift.
Something morph?
In Utah.
Animorph?
No.
No?
Apparently Ryan Coogler is coming back with that.
Oh, Animorph?
Animorphs, yeah.
Okay, well, like, who's asking for it, though?
I don't know. He said who's asking. I don't know.
I mean, that's usually my question. Like, why bring something back if no one's asking for it? Like, we're not going to talk about this, but like the Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. No, who asked for all this shit? And like, but anyways.
I want to get into that so bad, but we'll do that later.
Yeah. Well, can I I don't want to talk too much, but can I talk about the Brown Mountain Lights?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh, baby. Okay.
Okay, so this episode is going to be Yapageddon, or the yappening,
like it,
or whatever you want to call it.
Sorry about
we're
that,
just yapping.
I wanted to reiterate on your question earlier. I'm here to be, let's say, convinced. I'm not really convinced there's aliens out there. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think we're the only ones in the universe. At the same time, I don't know about aliens specifically, to be honest with you. But I'm intrigued about them, and I'm also intrigued to learn if they are real. So
hold that thought, bro. We'll get back to the mountain in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on with the whole alien thing, and I think Obama said something. He kind of said something he shouldn't have about aliens. He leaked it out, and then Trump was like, "Hey, Obama shouldn't have said that." He's like releasing classified information, and like throughout history, the president has talked about the existence of aliens, the alien files. I don't remember what it's called. It's like the Blue
Book. Well, that's
Blue Book?
Project Blue Book was.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So there are a lot of like, even if you don't believe in aliens, like how do you explain like all these documentation made by like the government or like recordings from people's cell phones? So like there's like so many variables to say that there isn't one. It's kind of like.
Well, I will play devil's advocate here, which is, first of all, I totally respect you for being on the fence about it, but you're open to hearing.
Right.
I think being open to hearing is a sign of intelligence, so like kudos to you on that one.
I appreciate it.
But I will say, so playing devil's advocate, well, I think, for example, there was a huge spike of alien sightings, I think, around World War II. Okay. And there's a couple arguments that can be made of why that is, that are like real aliens, why the aliens came. But also, a good counter argument is a lot of times the military is way ahead of what the population thinks. And they'll have new ships, new craft all the time. And so when people see something new, like when the B-2 bomber came out, I mean, that's the flying wing, right? The B-2?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, when that came out and that triangle was going over certain cities, there were a lot of reports of UFOs. People were like, oh my God, there's this triangle thing. And that was actually just an advanced military aircraft. However, so that's playing devil's advocate. But also, I still strongly believe that a good portion of sightings, my subjective opinion is I still think a lot of sightings are still based on actual like UFO stuff, but a percentage of them I think are misidentifications.
Well, what do you think about the fourth kind then? I have seen that.
Is that the one with the owl?
We're talking about the movie?
No, the movie, yeah. The woman whose son was abducted.
Yeah, there weren't owls, and when the owl would stare at you?
Is it the one with the claws that were grabbing people and shit?
I think so.
I'm
not really.
Do you think
there's so many aliens movie?
Yeah,
dude. If you're talking about the fourth kind, that movie.
Yeah.
Man.
That was scary.
Me up.
Yeah, it did too. Yeah, that messed me up too, big time.
Effed me up.
Yeah.
Well, bro,
I remember that Joker like it was yesterday because it was scary as crap. I'm not gonna lie. And then it sounded like she was possessed or something like that on the couch. Like it was talking through her. I was like, whoa, hold on.
She was
okay. So now we're tying. There was a demon possession. With
correct.
Aliens.
I was tying aliens with demons.
Oh,
she was speaking Sumerian though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the wildest thing. One of the oldest languages on the planet.
Correct.
Dude. Okay. So like I've been going to church, so I'm trying to be very careful when I use the Lord's name in vain or whatever.
There you go.
But a lot of time where I would hear like people that are doing the like demon possession, they specifically tell you to use the name of Jesus to repel the demons and stuff like that. So there are like spiritual power to it. Like look, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert or talk about it. I'm just telling you what I remembered. But like there are spirits like aliens that we would call it aliens that would try to like do spiritual stuff that we can't really interpret within like the human mind.
Right.
So we use like spirit as a different media to like fight against it in a sense.
Right.
So yeah.
I think I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's more like I guess the word would be a metaphysical existence.
It's like a 2D living being trying to interact in the 3 dimension. So us 3 dimensions trying to interact within the 4th dimension, which is the spirit, which we cannot barely comprehend. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
Am I tripping?
No, yeah, it makes sense. So
it does. It does make sense.
Yeah, it does. But I kind of interpret that to Doodle Bob trying to mess with SpongeBob.
Doodlebop.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Doodlebop's 2D.
Right.
Trying to be SpongeBob, which is 3D.
Well, I thought
In a
SpongeBob was
sense,
2D.
in their world.
Okay,
In their world.
okay, I was about to say. Okay,
Yeah, not exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, me noise.
Or even more, talking about SpongeBob, the one episode where they showed the voiceover creator of a SpongeBob in the episode.
There you go.
Broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, broke the fourth wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Fourth wall.
Oh, bro, to go back to the alien topic, you were saying how there are alien sightings right around like World War II, right?
Yeah.
So, oh shit, hold on. I'm having a brain fart right now. Okay. So imagine you're a zookeeper, right? And you're containing a zoo full of monkeys, right? And then you just throw like an iPhone into it. Or throw an iPhone into the cage, right? Expecting nothing's gonna happen, right? So the monkey's gonna pick it up. They're gonna fuck around with the iPhone, not knowing anything. But what if these monkeys eventually got to the point where they understand how an iPhone works, and they use that iPhone to pretty much destroy the other tribe of monkeys?
I don't think we're that far off, to be honest.
But just follow along with my hypothetical, right? So as a zookeeper, you see that like you threw it some technology, and then they eventually figure out how to use it, and now they're using it to destroy the other half of the population. You would intervene, right? So it's the same idea as aliens. So alien would so there was a theory that in World War II the Nazis were given alien technology, and they were that's how they were able to do so many technological advances, right? So it's the same story. So an alien drops off some technology, and then as soon as the human being starts creating nukes or bombing one another, that's when you start seeing more alien sightings. They come in, just intervene, saying like, "Hey, stop that shit. Like, we gave you this technology. Y'all weren't supposed to blow each other up."
Right.
Does that make sense? So that's my conspiracy. It's not my conspiracy. That's something that I've heard.
Okay.
So that's my contribution.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That actually is almost a parallel theory to, I think it's called the nuclear something visitation theory. Also, when it comes to the idea of civilizations across the universe, there's kind of a lot of people, I don't know by people, but like a lot of people will agree there's certain thresholds to civilization's advancement. One is like the use of electricity or power, and then the attainment of nuclear power is like a threshold being reached for a civilization. And if there's a theory that, especially during World War II, we proved to the universe that we are now a species that has attained nuclear power. And so the argument actually is then that's what kind of sent out it didn't send out a signal. Like a alien species that were watching us, now we're like, ooh, and started paying attention.
Right.
And so it's kind of a similar theory to what you just mentioned too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that we attained nuclear status of a society, and now like we actually are a threat to ourselves and aliens.
So just a random thought. So let's just say that for whatever reason, everything we just said happened to be true, and we knew it for a fact, right? And we put it on a podcast.
Oh boy.
Don't you think there's someone out there that did the exact same thing where they're speaking the truth, they say on the podcast, and then they get no attention. Yeah. It just gets swept under the rug, or like the government suppresses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how often does that happen where the truth is just like hidden underneath our nose this whole entire time, and then like we just think that everything is just like a skeptical like conspiracy?
I feel like more often than not, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I when I think about the stuff like this, I worry about my mental health. That's how people lose their mind. They get into the rabbit hole. They go into like psychosis and talk about like what happened with like AI psychosis. I'm not trying to divert it, but you know what I'm saying. When people get down the rabbit hole a little bit too far deep, I'm just saying, just be careful.
There is a history. I mean, I say this blindly, but I imagine it's probably true. There is a history, especially of the United States, but I imagine most governments. If you are the victor of your own story, you tend to write it.
Oh yeah,
to ignore certain things that have happened. Right.
The winners of war write the history.
Exactly. And then one generation later, the older people will still remember the truth, but then once they die off, generation and a half, 2 generations later, all people know is the truth that's been said for 2 generations.
That's absolutely correct. Yes.
And I'm not saying it's necessarily unique to one country or not, but it's probably just how you want to change perception. I theorize it's like a 2-generation rule. After 2 generations, you can tell your population anything.
To be honest with you, I think that's been on repetition for like thousands of years. Up to this point, indeed, as well, yeah. Which is ridiculous to me, but at the same time, history likes to repeat itself. And we're byproducts of said history, unfortunately.
Do you ever feel like you can change the course of history in any way?
Now, I believe you possibly can, but at the same time, does it change the fact of the proverbial wheel turning? No, I don't think so.
See, and going on that begs the question, going back to ancient civilizations and maybe alien visitations and just advanced stuff, that exactly is why I've come in recent years to believe more and more about, ancient lost civilizations that we simply just don't know about. It's a belief system almost. Like, I believe it's possible, but I don't have proof. Because who's to say, let's say we unfortunately nuke ourselves into oblivion, the whole planet. Let's just say that happens. And then 2,000 years goes by.
Yeah.
How many of our structures will be around in 2,000 years? Maybe a couple brick libraries, maybe. But all the skyscrapers, every building made of iron and metal and stuff, it'll be gone.
Yes, that'll be corroded.
And so it's like, well, literally, proof of our existence would be gone in a couple thousand years. So, like, who's to say that there haven't been a bunch of crazy, huge civilizations in the past?
This is very true. And a lot of civilizations underwater as well that we have not traversed.
What makes us think that we're any more significant than, like, the history of Earth? What makes us think, like, we're the main character? We're the plot. So as soon as, like, we're gone, the world continues.
The fact that we haven't seen anything else.
We're not the main character, bro. I'm just saying.
I agree. I'm with you on that 100%. But at the same time, you know how people's egos and perceptions are, unfortunately.
Well, let me ask you guys, did they have Nutella 2,000 years ago?
Nutella.
I don't think so.
That's a good point.
Or Biscoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why we're the main story. We have main character syndrome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stuffing our faces with Biscoff and yogurt.
Oh, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather be the side character. I'd rather be a supportive character. Because, I don't know. Whenever I start going to church, I start to realize that, like, the people that go to church are the people that are there for others rather than being there for themselves. Does that make sense?
That tends to be.
Because a lot of time in life we focus on ourselves, like our own woes, our own theories, our own meaningless existence. We try to satisfy that nihilism, that like what is the point of our existence? And then like when you give that up, you start thinking about others.
I mean, I believe that's probably the reason why, like going back to what you were saying about your mental health and wondering why all of this is happening. You have to have a medium. You have to have a medium to hold yourself to and to be able to hold on to be able to go down that rabbit hole and then be able to be stable after coming back up. I believe that's God.
Okay. Did you hear this during the sermon this morning, or like was it like a different time?
No. That was the sermon going into basically what do you want from God?
Right.
Basically, and what is it that you're willing to do, not just for God, but also for yourself and for others.
Right. And I guess a good way to think of it also is if you have that healthy, steady relationship, if your faith is strong enough, then God becomes that pillar in your life that no matter what happens when you dip down or up, that pillar stays steady and doesn't change. Is that kind of the...
I like where you word this, because like when I was growing up, I've always been like atheist. Mostly atheist. When I was growing up, my mom raised me as a Buddhist, and like I didn't know what Buddhism was. Like I don't know why I was praying. I don't know why I'm going to the temple. I don't know who I'm praying to. And then I started questioning myself, and then like that's when I started going this whole rabbit hole of like becoming an atheist. But as I get older, I start to realize that like there are purposes and like there are meaning that people get out of having a religion. Xavier tells me this every now and then, where he was talking to his dad, and his dad was teaching him about his concept of religion, where if you know that humans have this requirement of like faith and like answering the question of where do we go after we die, and all this like spiritual stuff, and if religion and God is able to give you that peace that gives you the strength to go forward, like why take that away from somebody? So but the point is there's value to it whether you believe it or not. It's valuable to enough people to pretty much shape society.
So kind of the argument that, let's say most faith is based off lie, why does it matter? Because it at least uplifts people, makes them happy, and gives them order. Well, like the worst case scenario, like why would you ever be against it? Because it gives people happiness and faith and something.
Because just like anything else, it can be abused. And to go back to the whole science theme, like imagine like a flat earther or someone that purposely goes against science because they don't believe in science enough, so they'll go out their way to disprove science. You know, so they have their own ideology, they have their own mantra, their own concept of like what the truth is, and it brings them peace, even if it's like not right. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Slightly.
Somewhat. I'm just saying, like, there are people out there that just operate differently. That's all I'm saying.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There are people that operate differently. And there are those that have their morals and their values, and that they're unchanged from those things, unfortunately. But sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on the person and their beliefs.
Yeah.
Just to share, since you shared, I was raised Lutheran. I am currently a man of faith.
What is Lutheran?
Lutheran, the joke is that it's Catholic light.
Okay.
Interesting.
One of the core fundamentals of Lutheranism, I'm not talking about everything, but is that Lutheranism lends itself to the idea that if you believe in the basics, you believe in the fundamentals, that you are a sinner, you're saved purely by the Son of God, Christ, and that He died for your sins, and you believe in the fundamentals, right? As long as you try your best to be a good person, and you believe that you're trying your best, that's good enough to go into heaven. Now, a lot of people don't like that, because then a serial murderer could then also just be like, well, I believe I'm trying my best. And then according to that mentality, they'd still go into heaven perfectly fine.
No.
And so that does, Lutheranism can rub people a little wrong sometimes, just because it's like a light version of certain things. Now I didn't mention everything about Lutheranism. There's other distinct things too that, right. But that's one thing it's known for.
I think I have the answer to that. I actually went to a sermon this morning. I went to church this morning, and they were saying how the fear of God is supposed to be good for you. So if you are an individual where you go around and justify murdering of other people, you're not fearing God. That is not a godly thing to teach humans. Like, God would not teach humans to kill other humans. Yeah, that's not a godly. Like, you don't fear God if you do something like that. So like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think there's justification for Lutheranism.
Lutheranism.
Is that? I just made that up. Is that real?
Yeah.
Lutheranism.
Is that the right word? Lutheranism?
I don't know.
Now
Lutheranism?
I don't. Now I'm confused. I'm Lutheran, so Lutheranism.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. I'll post edit Tony. We'll figure out whether it's a real word or not.
It's a mainstream thing that broke off of the Catholic Church forever long ago, because Luther just believed certain things were a little too strict, and I forget the whole backstory. I'll be honest with you, I forget the whole backstory of Luther himself. But it's joked that Robin Williams Catholic would make was that it was called Catholic Light, like Bud Light,
Right.
Catholic Light.
Oh man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Robin.
So question. So do you find it weird that we were talking about alien at one point and all of a sudden we were talking about God, or is that like, or is that just a natural bouncing from one subject to the other?
I think it was
because like you had to admit that God is a little bit beyond human and like outer worldly.
Correct.
Because
so he's out of space and time.
Boom. God's an alien. Solved it.
You know what? I'm so done with
I don't know about that. Man.
No.
Dude.
Aliens have to be where and when.
So can we
outside of where and when? So.
I'm gonna do a throwback. Right? Jim Carrey, Alien. Can we agree with that?
Okay.
Is he an alien?
You mean the new one?
Yeah. The new one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is he an alien?
I don't know. That was weird to me. A lot of people were even saying the signature he was doing wasn't even the same.
So it was a strange.
Wait. You know how like if somebody is on like hardcore drug, they can act entirely different from who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But like the thing is, it's normally towards like madness. But the one we saw, he was like casually chill, calm. But it just reminds me of some guy that's like sedated. Correct. That's like completely. He's acting like himself, but like different.
He did seem very sedated, and everybody ages and
euthanized.
What?
Close to it. It felt like. I feel like as we age, we're naturally probably going to be a little bit less energetic over time.
Right.
Most people. So I would expect him to maybe not be as energetic and jokeable as he was when he was, say, 25 or 30, but how he acted seemed disproportionately tame.
Correct.
Disproportionately not Jim Carrey. And the argument being made and publicly broadcast is, well, that was Botox injections he just had, right?
Correct.
So
exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, because those cheeks were a bit full to me, to be honest with you. And on top of that, I'm not going to lie, he seemed like he was trying too hard.
Yeah.
It was a little weird for me. Jim doesn't have to try to be Jim. You know, that was a little weird.
Yeah. It's true. It felt like he was trying hard without having any of the humor he normally has.
Right. Like, imagine if Jim Carrey took like a 50 milligram THC drink, and then he just suddenly shifted character.
Who would do that?
Some loser would do something like that.
Still be Jim even on THC. That's why I'm like, yeah.
I would not hang out with a single person that does that.
I wouldn't either. Sounds like a loser. But yo. Okay. So. It's relevant, but just it'll tie back to what I was saying. Like, okay, so I went to a friend's, my sister's friend's 30th birthday, right? And we were casually just hanging out at the campfire, and like we were just talking about animals, right? And one of the guys was telling me how, like, hey, do you guys find it weird like squirrels have like human hands, or any creature with like human hands? Like, it freaks them the fuck out.
You mean like raccoons?
Like, raccoons. We were talking about raccoons and possums. Like, does that freak you guys out? Because you think about, like, you have bugs with like little insect things, and like it's weird. But when you see like something that's like uncanny, that's like almost like a human hand but not like a human hand, is a little bit, I mean, there's no other word other than uncanny. Does that weird you guys out?
To an extent, but at the same time,
but what I'm saying is, like, that was my experience when I saw the Jim Carrey. It was like, it was uncanny.
Okay, I get
it was like a human face. It was like human behavior, but like it was just like it's something about it. Like, it's just too human. It's just fucking weirds me out.
It was weird, man. Yeah.
There's actually a psychology term for, and it's associated with robots primarily. It's only popped up in the past couple decades, and it's actually a studied phenomenon where if you make a robot just too human-like, it creeps you out.
The Uncanny Valley.
Oh, is that what it's called?
It is, yeah.
The Uncanny Valley. So maybe it's something analogous to that. Yeah, it's very weird. So it's, I guess, a universal feeling that if you make a robot that is just way too human-looking, which we're still working towards.
Yes.
But there's been a couple cases of them making them too human-looking, and it actually evokes a specific kind of fight or flight within people.
It makes your hair stand up.
Yeah, to where your brain is confused of like, I know this is a robot, but this is a person. No, this is a robot.
Why?
And you get torn up in your head.
I have a question. Why do you think?
I do know. Back in the day, it is very evolutionary. It is an evolutionary advantage to be able to distinguish between human beings. So when you see something that kind of looks like human beings, it could be like a tiger in the woods. It could be like some kind of like predator, like an alligator. Something that's not human. Once you confirm something is human, you feel safe. But when you can't put your finger on if it's human or not, that visceral reaction comes up.
Walks like a human, talks like a human, sounds like a human, but it's not a human. How can you tell?
That's yo
spirit. We are made of spirit. You can tell. I can tell. Look at you. Tell. Feel. We have receptors just like animals do. Our hairs are antennas. Everything on us and about us literally is pointing to the other person. Is like, okay, I know you're human. Okay, I know you're human. I can tell your personality, everything you say, everything you do, how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk.
Can I challenge you on that?
Pray tell, yes.
So here's my deal, right? So the use of AI has drastically increased. So we've gone to the point where if you feed AI, let's say like all my podcasts, they can replicate my content. And like you would think that like it breathes like me, it talks just like me, it talks to the same people that I'm talking to, and you can't even tell a different routine.
But it can't replicate your
It can't
soul.
Replicate me. Exactly, dude. Because like so like that's
your soul, and
so
it cannot replicate the caring human person you are.
And that's why I do the podcast.
The caring aspect is out.
That's why I do the podcast. So now you know for a fact. I'm real, right? So like it's some. We live in a world where you can't tell something's real. The only way you can really tell it is like this human interaction that we're having right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say
value to it.
I would say there's perception to take into account as well. For example, to the online world, anybody viewing the podcast could see a duplicate AI of your channel, and they may not know the difference. And so, but then to the perception of somebody that knows you or your family, or even your neighbors or your community, they would know, that's definitely not him.
Bullshit.
I think so.
No, you haven't talked to old people yet, bro. If you show them AI video and they believe it, like, oh my god, Santa Claus was right there, dog.
That's the scary
No, that's
part.
what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, let me rephrase. When it comes to AI can duplicate you, but only on the online sphere, right? So they can duplicate your likeness, your hair, your image, your activity, your words, but they'll never be able to duplicate your exact physical output. At least not for a couple decades.
Oh, is that why Jim Carrey didn't look like Jim Carrey? You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, so here I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun, but like here's my second conspiracy theory, right? Have you guys heard about DLSS5 or whatever, the NVIDIA?
I have not.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking a little bit, but I forgot it's like DLS5 or DLSS or whatever. But the point is, NVIDIA came out with a software where you put a game in it, and then it will pretty much upgrade the resolution. It will upgrade like the way the model looks, like pixel by pixel, like mathematically, it will look better. But the problem is, it runs into the exact same situation I was saying earlier, where the model look like uncanny. You know, like let's say that the character had like hair like this, but then it goes through that processing, it gives them like a different style of hair, just like a little bit. All these tiny little stuff that it AI enhances it, right? So my conspiracy theory right now is these kind of technology is warming us up to the idea of what an alien looks like. So if an alien looks kind of like a human, but not quite human, an AI enhanced looking like human. So when we see that in real life, you would like, oh, what the fuck is that? But if you have used NVIDIA's technology to see these kind of like filter of what a human is supposed to look like, AI enhanced, you'd be more comfortable with seeing the idea like, okay, this is normal. So when time comes and you see like an actual alien, they look like an AI like upscale, and you'll be like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's just like another day. That's my conspiracy theory. Straight out of Tony's temple.
I definitely that's interesting. I got some thoughts, but do you have any thoughts on that one first?
I do not. Go right ahead.
Well, for the last video I uploaded, I did ask for a little bit of help with. I originally reached out to just like ChatGPT, and I said, hey, can you, for shits and giggles, can you copy this picture of me, and can you do this and put me here in this setting? And what's so interesting about most AIs, maybe it's due to regulation or constraints in programming, whenever you ask them, when you give them permission to say, hey, can you please copy my face and maybe just make me appear in this part of the photo over here, it can't do it perfectly. And every single time I asked it, like a week ago, to do this on this picture, it would duplicate my likeness to a 90-95% exact match, but to where I could tell, I was like, that's not me. It looks like a slightly older, more like stereotypical,
different, like
mainstream. It's like a mainstream version of me that's slightly different. And I would ask again. I'd say, no, my chin's not that long. I have kind of a shorter chin. Here is my picture. I give you permission. Can you please just post it over here and put it in the forest? I want to be like popping out of a tree. And it would do that, but then the picture it would generate, it was like 90% me, 10% somebody else. And then it explained it's in its programming constraints that I'm not allowed to duplicate images perfectly if it's a human face. And it's like, I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, at least if they're probably programmed it to be that way.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I just found it really weird. You can generate pretty much anything, and
this is correct.
But then
they have substantial, I guess, let's say, holds or cancellations on them for a specific reason of, I'm guessing they're not trying to copy anybody else's likeness and then try to get sued maybe or anything like that, because that's happening a lot out here, as you can see. As you can see, they're taking people and using some of their videos or their likeness or anything like that, making fake videos.
Bro,
as you can see out here, and a lot of that's happening. It's weird, man.
I think the most disturbing one is like people that is using people that are dead, like MLK. Ooh. You know, in a 7-Eleven store or some shit like that. Like, it's fucking creepy.
I ran across an AI slop video today of Michael Jackson talking about how he hates AI slop.
There you go.
You saw that?
Yes. You know why? Because somebody just made an AI Michael Jackson. Like, no, I heard the music the other day. It sounds almost like him. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, dude.
We could go into a whole AI spin-off. I'm personally very pro AI on low basic levels, and I'm not the biggest fan of AI on deeper levels. But can I take a temporary loop back to the whole alien thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go right ahead.
What are your guys' perspectives on the idea of a soft release of information to the public? What I mean is, if the public has believed for centuries that it's just us in this universe, us and God and whatever else you want to put in there as well, but then the government, whether the government is a one world government or just every government universally is agreeing together to release information very slowly, what do you think of the idea of a soft release, which is you release the information very slowly over a generation or two, and you normalize the idea of it, but the idea of it is kind of a joke?
Yes.
Have you guys thought about that?
Yes. I literally just talked about that with the DLSS 5 or whatever. Right? So you introduce to a generation of PC gamers that are playing video games that are used to AI upscale, and it makes human models looks kind of weird, but if you make them feel comfortable enough with this weirdness, they think that it's normal. And then when you release the real thing, they won't freak the fuck out. So yeah, I literally just said that. Yeah,
okay. You did. That's true.
I'll give you that.
Right?
All right. The movie Paul. With the alien, yes. And Seth Rogen is the alien.
I haven't seen it. Can you talk about it?
He did that in the movie. And it was over time the CIA caught him and he was giving them information on technology. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, see?
Wait, you say Seth Rogen? Who?
He was the voice. It was animated.
He was the voice of the
okay,
alien.
so when you say Seth Rogen, I'm thinking like comedy. So is this like a comedy?
It was a comedy, yes. And it has,
so should I take it seriously?
It has Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in there as well. No, probably not. But at the same time, I'm just mentioning the fact that he was actually doing that in the movie, which I'm not negating. That's probably what the government has been doing.
Well, okay. So here's another example. We used to call him UFO. Now we call him UAP. You know what I'm saying?
UAP.
Like it's like the softening of words, which I'm not gonna talk about it, but I fucking hate it when that happens, where people soften languages.
I hate when people change language.
I agreed. Which we'll just say our culture has done a lot in the past 6 to 10 years, which is annoying.
I agree.
And UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon, as opposed to unidentified flying object, because now
we have
powers because they have drones.
Yeah, and powers that be acknowledge that maybe it's not an object, but it could just be a natural phenomenon. So unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay.
But so
what's the definition of phenomenon?
Literally anything. That's the whole point.
Life is a phenomenon.
There you go.
So the soft release idea, right?
So unidentified anything in the air? That's what you're telling me?
If I was the U.S. government and I wanted to slowly release the idea that not only do aliens exist, but they are amongst us, and let's say I was the head of the whole U.S. government, which isn't necessarily a thing, but I would want to make sure that I release the information very slowly to the public. And what I would do first is I would make sure that Hollywood would produce a lot of alien movies.
Oh, I knew it!
Over several decades, and normalize the idea of aliens just being a thing, but clearly it's a sci-fi, it's a Hollywood thing, and then do like documentaries, mockumentaries, everything, and just normalize the idea. And then eventually, after the whole public, to where like a new alien documentary or a new alien movie is nothing special, because you've seen Men in Black 1, 2, 3, you've seen this, that, and then you drop the bomb after the whole public has been desensitized to the surprisingness of the idea, and then you just go, yeah, actually there is a Men in Black that exists, by the way, those were all based on truth, and people will just be like, ha, knew it, as opposed to being shocked right out.
Right.
Yeah, the whole entire
like out of the blue,
society would like lose their shit. I knew Rick and Morty was fucking real.
They don't.
The portal gun was real.
The portal gun was real.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Boy.
See, it was one of those things where I say some dumb shit and it ended up being true, and I end up hating myself for being right, because when I'm actually just joking.
Does that ever get tiring, being right?
Huh? Yes, it does. It does. Because sometimes I don't want to be right. Sometimes I don't want to be right.
Well, sometimes you just want to be wrong or proved wrong.
Because it hurts people's feelings less.
I want to be wrong about this soft release theory of mine. I want to be wrong that all of these Hollywood movies aren't actually based on a slow release of information. That they're just stories. I would love that to be the truth.
Well, the thing is, like, the human mind is very wild. It goes, like, it doesn't take a genius to come up with the idea of an alien or alien technology, right? Or a Man in Black. There's always some kind of government forces that is like beyond the reach of like normal civilization, and like it's not a wild concept.
Well, I mean,
you know
somebody had to come up with the concept. You know?
What my
it
point
had to come about somehow, some way.
Well, my point is like anyone can come up with it. It's just how much of it do you believe?
Perception.
Right.
And I guess it also comes down to, I mean, let's be honest, throughout history, really good storytellers have a good way of influencing entire masses of people, for better or for worse. If you're really good at convincing people of an idea or a story, it's easy to get people to be on board with it. And if the story is so captivating, it'll get passed down for generations, right? So I guess I'm just saying that in a neutral sense. I don't really have a point to saying that, just more, I guess if one person started the idea of aliens, and they started the idea, and the idea was just so captivating, let's say the idea of formal aliens as we know it started, we'll say like 300 years ago or something like that. Then if it was a captivating enough story, it could have just transferred, and then people think they see it, or maybe then people actually start seeing it, whether it's mass hysteria or it's no, actually people's eyes are open now, and now they're seeing it. It could be both of those, potentially. Yeah. Have you guys seen the documentary on the Brazilian town Varginha?
Yes, dude. You know what? No. Okay. So
I'm intrigued.
I have a quick story. All right. So it was Jay's idea to do this podcast again, and like he wanted to talk about aliens. So that's why I told you about aliens.
Okay.
So that was actually the first topic that I found that I wanted to talk about. But then, like I was saying earlier, how when you do research on alien stuff, like, do you believe it or do you not believe it? Because the more I hear about it, like I'm more like discouraged. Like, what if I was just like spewing bullshit on my podcast, and then like now people memorize me as like the guy that says some dumbass alien stuff? But yes, I did do some research on that. How about we play like pickleball back and forth. I'll share what I know and you share what you know.
Sure.
All right. So from what I was told, there was an alien encounter with 3 ladies that was in Brazil. Virginia, Brazil.
3 encounters.
Right?
Brazil.
So the way that when they were talking to the media, they were saying that it, like when they saw this alien, it was like a meat like living creature, and it gave off with the smell of like ammonia in like the woods.
Pheromones?
No, it smelled like ammonia, and it was like an alien crash, and then like that came out, and then they saw the alien. Right? Is that what happened? Or there's another story about the guy with like the little plastic scrap stuff. Or which one did you see?
Ooh, I mean I watched the whole documentary on it. I'll be honest, I forget how it started, but there are 3 main witnesses that are now, they were little girls when it happened, and now like the documentary went back and interviewed them as adults. So there is like a slight loss of credibility. Decades have gone by type thing, but their stories all matched up perfectly, and it was, they were like these small, blue or something, but they had wet skin. They were like small human looking, and they reeked of ammonia. And apparently everybody agreed the ammonia smell just burned your nose, and they always just smelled like ammonia, and it hurt. And then there was one military officer. I'll let you get back to your. There was one military officer that at the time the whole city got sanctioned off, and the citizens weren't told a thing. And it was like the military was strict. They had their guns out. Like, you're not allowed to go into this part of town. And one soldier did get told, hey, this clearly one of these alien things, it's clearly not doing well. Something happened. So they commanded one guy to actually pick up one of the aliens and bring it to a local hospital. The hospital also got put on lockdown. Nobody in or out. Very militarized. And then the dude that picked up the alien ended up dying like 5-10 days later, and he had burns on his arms from where he contacted the thing. And it was some kind of chemical burn.
Mm-hmm. Like imagine touching like radioactive like materials. It just fucks with you.
Yeah.
Or sulfur.
Sulfur does that to you?
Yeah, I think sulfur.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you an alien?
Hydrochloric acid.
How'd you know that?
Yeah,
no, but like to go back with Jay's point, like Brazil has been like an alien hotspot from what I know. Like there's plenty of stories. There was another story of this guy. He was out in the woods, and there was an alien like craft materials just landed, and it crashed into the ground. He went over there and tried to take a look at it. Right. There were by the time he got there were already like military agents just like covering the field, telling him to get the fuck out. Right. So he went his own way, but he ended up like finding like a little piece of scrap sitting on the ground. So he picked it up, and it was like I think he said it was like aluminum. It's like it's like a silvery metallic like quality type of material, and he was able to like scrunch it up, right? So when you crunch up aluminum, and you try to expand it back out, you see all the like the wrinkles and stuff like that, right? So when he crunched it up, for some reason, it naturally came back to its like natural shape with no wrinkles. So it was some kind of materials that we've never seen in like modern science ever. And he couldn't explain what the hell it was.
And from what I recall, at least claiming from the documentary, I think when they interviewed the guy, he said that it was strangely light and it had almost no mass to it. Mm-hmm. He said it was clearly a shiny piece of metal you could bend or whatnot. But if I remember right, he said it was as light as air. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I had no idea what this was. And yeah, and going back on Virginia.
I just said Virginia, just to simple.
It's so we have our Area 51 in the United States. The claim to fame of this documentary, which I've done some digging in, and it looks like this city's real. The city is just like the cities around Area 51. That city uses the alien thing as a lot of tourism. So that whole city is obsessed with aliens. There's like UFO statues everywhere in the city, Virginia, and so Virginia is Brazil's Area 51. That's their Roswell incident that they basically had the equivalent of.
Oh.
Yeah,
we've got our Roswell incident. They have Virginia.
Okay,
dude. Yeah. There's if you do okay. So when Jay was telling me to do some research on alien, I knew that Brazil was a hotspot, and I remember there was another story where there was a guy that was like stumbling into like the marsh swamp, right? And he randomly found like a cow that got like cut, like precision, like from like surgery. It wasn't like from a claw mark from an animal. It wasn't kind of like natural, like he bumped into a rock or anything. It was just, how do you explain something like that? Like he couldn't figure out like what the hell happened to this creature. Like it wasn't like a human interaction. It wasn't like a human that got like a scalpel and cut it, but it looks like that material. But like if you put into context, like what the hell is a surgeon or someone with that kind of material doing that to a cow, right? And then like seeing one is like weird, but like seeing multiple is even weirder.
How many were the multiple?
I don't remember, but I would say like 3.
3 of them things?
I'm not saying like en masse like 50 or anything like that.
You're saying in Virginia
it was in Brazil somewhere, but yeah, the most of the story I've heard, like the Brazil is like the hot spot.
Were the bovines deceased?
Yes, of course. Duh.
Were they trying to act like they were tauntauns?
No. They were Wagyu beef. High quality beef. Yeah, that's probably why the alien wanted them in the first place.
That's interesting.
I always wondered what a tauntaun would taste like.
Right.
But
the blue meat,
The thing that I also find intriguing about the Virginia story is that, and I've read this a lot from encounters that go around the world. Apparently, the United States might potentially be leading the charge in terms of, we do have the most military might, or at least tied at the very worst, military might in the world, and we have a lot of funding. And so this Virginia story mentioned, the people they interviewed did mention, including they also ended up interviewing the past mayor of that town, the actual mayor that was there at the time when it happened, and that mayor spoke out on this documentary. And then but he also said, and everybody else said, it was so weird because after that craft landed, apparently there were U.S. Black Hawk helicopters in the air within 20 minutes. Yeah. And they did an illegal, but apparently the Brazilian government didn't care. They did an illegal extraction operation and then brought something back to America. And all of the people they interviewed basically said the same thing. They're like, yeah, it was weird. We saw this weird thing in the sky and it crashed, and then it was just quiet. And then we saw Black Hawk helicopters going over to the site, and some of them, I guess, had American something on it. They could tell it was American. And we actually there's a lot of anecdotal stories of American aircraft being used to extract things from weird crash sites around the world. So it's almost like we lead the charge with like the Men in Black. It's almost like the Men in Black's a real thing.
You know what? Is it our technology and our drones that we're flying over, and then we're like, oops, our bad, going to pick them up?
Could be.
I don't know. That's interesting.
That could be the case.
You know what? So like whenever we talk about aliens or anything conspiracy theory like that, it's not always about that one conspiracy being right. It's about like how many. Every time we tell these stories, it's a dot on the graph. How many dots on the graph do you need to like start to see like a little pattern? Because remember how you were saying like when the guy picked up the alien, he had like a burn. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stories I've read, people were saying how imagine you're getting hit by a microwave, and like your skin just burns. That's what it looks like. So whenever you hear these kind of stories, I'm like that's like when I knew that story, but when you tell me the burn mark, that made a cross reference to what I knew, I was like, okay, see what I'm saying? But there's like bullet points. These dots are like connecting. Like this is like how aliens operate. Like they do some kind of like radioactive burn, like a microwave. So
like the radio wave from the microwave. Like the actual radiation hitting your body?
I don't know. But if you watch like Man in Black or any kind of like alien like science fiction, they shoot a gun. It's not a bullet. It's always some kind of thing something that fucks you up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the ray guns.
Like a ray gun. Yeah. But it never like goes through you. It just kills you.
So
like it's cooking you from the inside out.
Yeah.
Which U.S. military now has microwave guns. They're like Humvee mounted. They're pretty big.
Humvee mounted?
Yeah, they're pretty big and bulky and industrial looking, but like they have Humvee mounted microwave guns that can, I guess, heat up somebody from about 200 yards away, which is good because 200 yards, that's shooting distance, but also microwave distance.
Dude, I can use that.
So you point it at electronics in a vehicle, it'll fry the electronics, but also you can point it at apparently an enemy soldier, and they're not going to explode, but apparently it'll heat them up very quickly to where, like, if somebody's a threat, you point the microwave gun at them, and they're just like, and they get the hell out of there.
Why are they pulling Stranger Things?
Dude.
What is going on here? Like, they're like, that's crazy.
How much does it cost to get one of those? Because like I would point that at like a hot pocket, so like the center doesn't get cold. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be using that. Why the fuck is the military the only one using that shit, dude? So the other week I hurt my back, right?
Yeah.
And like I couldn't.
I'm glad you're feeling better, by the way.
Yeah. It's just a side quest story.
Yeah,
but
you don't look like crap anymore.
When I hurt my back, like I wasn't able to stand. I was like cooking chicken. And it took me like 30 minutes because like I would like cut the chicken. I would lay down because my back was hurting and all this stuff. But after a while, I got enough courage, enough strength to go to Food Line, and like the only thing I bought was like shit that I could just pop into the microwave, which is a bunch of Hot Pockets. So for a week straight, I was eating Hot Pockets, chicken nuggets. It's just a bunch of shit. So if I had that ray gun, I would just like, all right, pop it in my mouth.
I'm trying to get that Spy Kids microwave.
What?
Yeah, don't you remember they had like the little packets they put in the microwave? Boom, Big Mac and fries.
Oh.
I don't remember that.
I do remember that. I can't remember if it was like a baking set or like.
No, it wasn't a baking set. That was in the wall.
It was in the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking something different.
That's cool. Well, since we're talking about big UFO hotspots, right? So everybody's heard of Area 51 and Roswell, and then now I think you just learned of Virginia.
I have, yes. Thank you for that information.
Yeah, and still up for debate on how much of it is true and not. But
if you ever want to do any research about aliens, just look up Brazil. They have a lot of crazy stories.
But here's what's weird.
Oh,
by the way, if you see it, report it.
Okay, I'll report it.
Yeah.
I actually was watching Joe Rogan, if I'm not mistaken, and there was a gentleman who was, I believe, he was so-called a scientist at Area 51. You saw that one,
Lazar?
right?
Was it
Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Bob Lazar.
And he was saying that he was working on the UFO or the UFI.
Spacecraft.
Yeah, the spacecraft now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And how it was like actually spinning in the air and all of that. Like he saw it working, he saw it functioning and everything. And then they tried to ruin his marriage and try to kill him and all this. I was like, well, that's a very intriguing story.
It is actually, so that's a pretty standard tactic when it comes to, say, a political enemy in particular or anybody else. If they are deemed as a threat, if you hold the power, you do everything you can to slander them, and before they get all the truth out, make sure you destroy their credibility.
It makes
and then
them
when
look
they release
crazy.
the information, it makes them look even crazier.
Correct.
And so there is some credence to be like, well, they kind of destroyed Bob Lazar's public reputation, and he claims to have actually worked on the power source of this craft, and he himself even was like, what is this power source? But apparently that was his job.
Right.
Because your job is to figure out this little power source thing right here.
And make
I can't remember if it's like
Something like
antimatter or dark matter that they were using to like.
It was dark matter.
It was dark matter?
Yeah.
So like with Bob Lazar, imagine if you were the guy that had to lift up the alien that got the burn, and you were trying to tell your story. Like, how the fuck do you even get that shit across? Anyone to believe you? You know what I'm saying? Bob Lazar was a lucky
proof
one.
burned.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But, okay, so here's another Tony conspiracy. Not conspiracy. Tony idea. What makes you think that the aliens look like what we see in Hollywood? Like the gray.
Correct.
The tall, slender, gray skin, big black eyeballs. Like, what makes you think they look like that in the first place? Because the media...
Ancient Sumerians.
No. No.
Could be.
No.
I mean,
No.
think about it. This movie influence, most likely.
That's the answer. That's the answer. So like, whenever you let's say like you never seen like an underwater creature, right? What makes you think that underwater creature looks like whatever your imagination is? It looks nothing like anything on land.
I'm not gonna lie, anglerfish freak me out.
They're pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
But they're not that bad. They don't eat us, right? For some reason, they don't eat us.
But responding to what you were asking, development of a species is going to be strongly dictated by the environment, right? In terms of how it looks, how it behaves. Well, behavior is partly evolutionary. And so the whole big eye alien thing, I've always wondered, let's say aliens are 100% real, and let's say they actually look like that. I've always wondered, is the main species of alien that have the big eyes, do they all come from a really dark planet? But a planet that still uses light to hunt and eat, and you can't be a dominant species really if you don't have the ability to see things.
Or
right?
absent there.
See,
Yeah.
okay.
And so I'm wondering, do they come from a dark planet? So
No.
they need bigger eyes?
No. See, you're
Right.
you're still failing my question. You're thinking in a third dimensional being.
I mean, we
Right?
are, so
If you think about it, like we're invisible to like thermal. We're invisible to like radio waves. We're invisible to a lot of like things that our eyes cannot comprehend. Right? Let alone,
Predator.
huh? Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I still haven't yet to see that new one. I want to see it bad. But no, continue.
Andromeda or
No,
What am I thinking?
Predator.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking aliens.
Check it
No,
out.
I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. No, but I'm saying like, what makes you think that it's in a third dimensional perspective? Because like I always imagine aliens are in a higher dimension than what we are. So what we think that they are looks nothing like what they actually look. And then like I was trying like, what would they even look like? Something incomprehensible, like a fourth dimensional.
I hope
being.
they're really sexy.
Dude. Oh wait, hold on.
What's with the whole trope about the third breast as well? Like what's going on here?
The more, the better. Right?
I'm not refuting that, but still. It's
Hey, maybe that's then the next evolutionary step, man. You never know.
Well, going back really quickly to something I was going to say that ties into this, right, is we have the potential opportunity here in North Carolina to go see some aliens ourselves. All right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
the Brown Mountain Lights.
Please, yes.
Oh, you've
Yeah,
heard
I-
you've
I-
heard-
No.
No.
I was intrigued. You talked about.
He talked about it earlier.
I was really intrigued about
Okay,
that.
Yeah,
This
forgot all about that.
This is so cool. Brown Mountain Lights. Okay, Brown Mountain Lights. All right, check this out. Brown Mountain Lights, I heard about a decade ago on the West Coast. And I always wondered where these Brown Mountain Lights were. I didn't realize they're in North Carolina. It's for centuries. Legit centuries, people have talked about seeing these weird floating lights over the Brown Mountain, which actually is apparently like near Grandfather Mountain, not that far from here. It's like 2 hours from Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty much the same story every single time. They see these red, orange orbs that will float over the forest, and apparently they'll sometimes float really close to the trees, sometimes a couple hundred feet above them, but they're never like up in the sky. They're always right above the forest. And they'll go in circles, they'll do erratic motions, and they'll just sizzle out sometimes. And also in that area of Brown Mountain, there's a disproportionately high rate of people going missing. Because people go missing in the mountains all the time. But there's a disproportionately high rate in that area. Two official Department of Defense studies were done on the Brown Mountain Lights, U.S. funded, because enough people were concerned. And the study results are bullshit.
Oh.
Absolute bullshit. One example, I think the most recent study was in like 2000 era or 2010 or something. And they came up with the lights people are seeing are headlights or train lights from like another state being reflected off of a thermocline over the forest.
Oh, okay.
And you're seeing the light bounce almost like light on top of a lake. Mm-hmm. And then you're seeing all these lights and they look like they're over the forest, but they're actually like a whole state away. Here's the bullshit part of that. Native Americans reported the Brown Mountain Lights too. We didn't have huge train lights and cars with highways, and they reported the exact same thing, right?
When was this?
I think the last thing I read about was there was sightings back in the 1700s.
I was guessing 18. Damn.
No, there were sightings in the early 1700s. You'd have to have a huge ass bonfire to have a thermocline, difference of temperatures of air, almost like a puddle, to have a thermocline reflect your light. And so I don't believe the Department of Defense study one bit.
So you have eyewitness accounts.
Lots.
In the 1700s.
Yes. People have written about it. Brown Mountain Lights are semi-famous in terms of like UFO lore, and we are so close to it. I said, disproportionate. And there's even a spot, apparently a semi-official spot near Grandfather Mountain, like a lookout spot where if you look east or north or something, like people know, you'll look this way from this viewpoint, you'll see it over the forest.
Interesting.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
I think I got an idea where we're going to go on our next vacation.
Yes! I'm bringing lasers and fireworks and my gun.
Why are you guys trying to go missing?
No, I'm not. I'm just fucking around.
Dude, can I bring my bear taser?
I'm so done with it right now. You might as well bring a shotgun while you're at it.
I should.
Yeah.
You honest think a shotgun's going to save you from a fucking alien, dude? No. No, dude. They're going to cook you like a fucking microwave, bro.
That's the thing.
I don't want to be eaten.
Would I really be seen as a threat? Really? You think? If they're higher beings, you know?
If they cook cows, they can cook us.
Hey, what do you guys think if the aliens land and they're about to abduct you and do experiments on you? What if you start acting like you're from The Walking Dead and you're just dragging a leg? Do you think they'd still be like, oh, let's abduct this guy?
No, this guy's probably retarded. Just probe him anyways.
This thing's diseased. We're not going to abduct that one.
We'll turn him into a pet. Like a cat.
Like a cat? A limping cat. You think aliens want a limping cat?
I mean, yeah, creatures tends to like to dominate creatures that are what they feel like is below them or less than them.
Cuter creatures.
No, anything less than them. Like for specifically like a crab, I saw this crab. They would pluck amoebas, little sea creatures, and use them like little pom poms and like shock their predators. But I'm saying like they don't view them as like threat. They just take little creatures below them.
That's the first I've actually heard of that. They took amoebas.
I never heard of that either.
Yeah.
No,
I'll play a little video and then I've seen clips of it. It's pretty cute. They look like little cheerleaders.
I'm so
it's really cute. But like, they will fight each other to like, hey, give me your shit because like I wanted to protect myself. We're like, no, that's my pom pom.
I'm so done.
It's cute. It's really cute. It's really cute. And Animal World is real, man.
Animal World is interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of Animal World, there's actually something on my agenda. I've been trying to figure out like how to segue from like aliens to like what I want to talk about.
Oh.
So I have this whole fucking agenda written out in my notebook. Yes, you've seen the notebook sitting here this whole time. I read my notes and I wanted to talk about it. I was trying to figure out how to like slip my DMs into like the podcast, right? So the background behind this story is I learned something from somebody, right? And I coined it as forbidden knowledge. Right? Imagine you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And there are forbidden cards. You're not supposed to use it, right? You're not supposed to talk about it. You don't use it. You don't talk about it. There's a reason why we don't do it, right? This is then called forbidden knowledge, right? And today is gonna be the day I've been waiting for this day to talk about it because like I've been trying to figure out ways to get canceled. Trying to figure out ways.
Why are you trying to talk about human transmutation?
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about California right now. All right. So just to warm it up, right? So I'm gonna see if I can fuck around with this real quick. I want to show you guys a couple like a video real quick. All right. So video capture display, right? All right. So the concept of this is I want you to watch the video, right? All it is just a beaver that has been rescued, right? So for those of you that don't know what a beaver is, they. I hope people that watch my video know what a beaver is. But the point is, a beaver, they would create dams, right? And when they create dams on like rivers and lakes, it's actually really good for the ecosystem, right? They create like new life. They create like a different ecosystem, and then it brings more predators, and like the environment usually blooms, right? So, but my point is, by nature, beavers, they somehow know how to like make dams. And in this video, what they do is they would capture like, locations of beavers that are like overpopulated, and they would move it to locations where they need like that ecosystem boost from specifically beaver to like, make the environment have more water, more resources, like turn into like a swamp from a desert into like somewhere more liquid, right? So when you watch this video, what I'm showing you is a beaver, but is it in habitat, is in enclosed location where there are no water, but it's still acting out its natural behavior, right? So just watch this. It's in a house, but now it's just collecting a bunch of random ass shit around the house to build a dam where there are no sources of water.
Beaver?
No, there is one of those rescue beaver that they were gonna transfer to like another location. So like it's not in its natural habitat, but what it's doing is it's collecting like a bunch of random like Christmas trees.
That is actually pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
That's cool.
Right, you guys never seen this?
He found wood.
I'm gonna skip a whole bunch of video, but like, yeah, look, so it's bringing all this stuff into a place where there are no water. It is doing its natural instinct of just like collecting random shit to build a dam.
I wonder what made it decide that spot in the hallway is where I will make a dam. Even though I see no water, I wonder what made it go this spot.
Right.
But when you watch it, like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is it doing that? Why do you guys think it's doing that?
I mean, evolutionary biology is a pretty strong thing that affects all of us, right?
True.
Do you think it knows what it's doing?
Maybe it's blocking the door from the dog that's been bothering it.
Could be.
I don't know.
By nature, it wouldn't do that, right? It's not going to encounter a dog to do something like that, right?
You know, and I wonder if that behavior is based off resource acquisition or trying to create a shelter. If it's just trying to create a shelter, that I'd say is probably the most baseline, natural, normal thing for any animal to do. Is if you're in an environment where, I mean, it looks like this beaver like has been there for a bit. It knows the apartment or something.
Right.
But I think the most natural behavior for any animal is to try and find safe shelter first. If you're a fish or in the water, that's a little bit different. But like land-based, you're gonna probably try and find shelter. So I'm wondering if it's just like, well, shoot, I'm exposed. So, I need to make a den.
No, I disagree, because like if it's like any other creature, do you think they would do the exact same thing? Do you think a dog would do this kind of behavior if it's looking for shelter? You think a cat would do something like this to look for shelter?
It'll go to its dog bed. And it'll pull blankets.
But that's
over
what dogs do. But this is what a beaver is doing.
Yeah, no, but a beaver's doing the equivalent of like making its home. Right. Same way a dog would kind of try to make its home with its dog bed and its blanket. Right. I think it's just like a different expression by nature.
By nature, right? Yeah. But the thing is, like, it doesn't know that it's doing that like actively. It's just doing that
because of nature,
intrinsic nature. Right. So that's concept number one that I want you guys to like remember. What we're going to talk about, right? So the second thing is, we're going to segue to something that's probably going to get me a lot more hate, and I'm okay with that. But the idea is female intersectional competition in human beings.
I'm going to need you to elaborate on that.
I will. All right, I'll break it down step by step, right? So let's take it back to like basic math. Instead of learning about multiplication, let's learn about addition, right? So, like things that are simple. So
I like math.
I like turtles.
Oh my god.
Okay. So let's start off early, right? So we've all taken school classes. We've taken history. We understand how human beings conquer, specifically men. Right? Yeah. We traverse land. We conquer land. We reproduce. Right? As men, we carry on our genes by reproducing with as many women as possible. Right? That is within our power. That's how men pretty much spread our genes to the next generation. Right?
In terms of evolutionary biology,
and how we carry on our genes, right? So that's obvious. So the follow-up question is like, how do you think females are doing that from their perspective?
I wish you would have a female on this podcast to explain that. But at the same time, it is interesting.
We're just talking shit, man. We're just talking shit.
Different thought process.
Oh, before we go any further, so everything I've written down, everything I'm going to say, I'll come from a doctor named Dr. Danny Solikowski. So she did the research on this, and this is where I base off of my researches. My researches. I'm not pulling this out of my ass, so I do have my notes. I know what I'm saying to a degree, right? So do you have an answer? Do you want me to answer it?
I mean, I have a potential answer. Do you have an idea first?
I do not. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
How do female compete in the same way that men compete?
Oh, I would say in some regards you could argue that it's in their nature to try and mate up to the most alpha male they can, right? Which is, not to get too deep, is an argument for sleeping around, but just like from a biological standpoint. And so they're trying to find their way up the social ladder to the most alpha male to ensure the most resources, protection, and that the children have the best chance of survival as well. And I mean, I don't know if that's an equivalent to the male version of sleeping around, but
you're 70% right. Do you want to have an answer? What's your thought? It doesn't have to be factual. Just you say your opinion.
I got you. So my thing is, are you talking about back then, now? Like, what is the time scale here?
All human existence.
All human existence. Because, I mean, human existence...
If you want to talk about a specific time, like whether it's modern time or like 80 years ago or 20 years ago, you're welcome to say so.
I'm just saying because there's many different factors that you have to put in account to that.
Of course.
That's why I was like trying to figure out the trajectory you were going with. But you're saying all of mankind's survival.
Survival. So how do they compete? We know that men compete by reproducing with as many as they can. So how do women do it?
This is literally not even scale. I'm just going off the top of my head.
Okay.
Let's say I would agree with your point, Jay, not gonna lie, and probably find the strongest man or male they can, and I guess try to be the actual woman they need to be for that specific man, and carry on the line how they're supposed to, and actually, I guess, not exactly follow the whole role of the, what is it, I'd say the
gender role?
Yeah. No, I'm saying like the nuclear family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But
yeah. No, so that's modern time.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you answer that with like a global, the whole the chronology of like human existence?
Well, I mean, think about it. It seems global though.
It's not.
Well, no, Taharqa wasn't making an argument for the global. He was basically saying that actually the nature wouldn't necessarily dictate a nuclear family.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Thank you for eloquently putting that way better than I did. Yes.
Okay. So all right. So here's the deal, right? So men are able to reproduce with as many women as they can to pass on the genetic genes, right? Mm-hmm. Women cannot do the same. They cannot produce with like 80 male and produce like 80 kids. Right, there's a limitation on how many babies they can make, right?
There was a woman in Russia who had
69
kids.
Yeah, I know, baby.
I was like, wait a minute.
Damn, baby.
There was a woman who had 69 kids in
That's
Russia.
The world record. That's the world record of how many.
That man was going at it in his old shape.
Is it one man?
No, yeah.
Really?
Same
wow.
husband.
What a dog.
Yeah.
Maybe we're related to him.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that man had a lot of bullets in the chamber.
Okay, so
that's just that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
he's going for the world record.
Think about that, man. Think about that.
So by
that's like,
maybe 65, was she not even pushing anymore? Was she just like?
It's just like taking a deuce. It's just like taking a deuce.
All I know is that's like at least 4 or 5 football teams.
Hey.
I'm just saying, dude. Like goodness.
Okay, so beside her, right? Most women, they can only produce up to, I'm giving like a rough estimate. They made like 6 kids, right? So your body can only produce so many. And back then, there are mortality rate when it comes to children, right? So let's say that you want to have 3 kids, but the mortality rate is like 50% because the technology haven't gotten there yet. So what people would do is they will make like 6 kids, and think in hopes that like maybe 3 of them will survive to pass on to the next generation, right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to men, they reproduce as with the number of times they can like reproduce with like another woman. Women can't do that, so what they do is they inhibit the reproduction of other women.
Oh, you're talking surrogate.
That's why it's called intrasexual competition. It's women against women competition. Like, how do they compete passing down their genes to the next generation? They can't produce more babies than like their physical limitation. So what they naturally do is they inhibit the reproduction of other women.
So they do what they can to push other women out.
Right. So when I'm telling you all this, like imagine as a rose-tinted glasses. So when you look into reality with this lens where like this is what's going on in the background, you think like, oh yeah, Becky's just being mean. No, what Becky is actually doing, she's trying to fuck up your reproduction rate. Does that make sense? So like, give it,
sabotage.
take it as a grain of salt, right? So here's how it all started with Dr. Danny Solikowski. She did a research where she did an experiment where there's a fictional barbershop, right? And she would invite people to go into their experiment, specifically women, and they say, hey, listen, we have this lady that is this beautiful. How much of the hair do you want to cut it off, right? So if the person that's being asked that question view an example that is not a competition, they're like, okay, I'll make her look as pretty as possible. But if you ask her the exact same question for a woman that she thinks is a competition to her, mm-hmm. she would purposely cut the hair shorter mm-hmm. to make her look less pretty.
Yes.
So for men to like selectively pick her.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of how it started off. So when she did her research, she started like figuring out like all these bullet points, starting to add up that like women are competing for passing down their genetic genes just as much as men are, but they work way differently, and no one talks about it. We talk about history, how men conquer war. We did World War I, we did World War II, Genghis Khan, how we reproduce, how we were able to like pass all this shit on. But no one ever talks about like how women do it on their side.
That's actually a very good point.
Right? So here's another point that she brought. I'm giving an example of how women would inhibit other women from reproducing. If you go on Reddit, right, there's a subreddit where women that are like midwives that would give advice to new mother that would like trying to figure out, oh, how do I take care of a kid, and they would give advice, right? And one of the polls that she did the research on, she was saying how the question is like, okay, listen, I have a kid, I have a husband. But I don't know what to do. I don't know when to take care of my kid. Do I keep my husband awake during the night along with the kid while I'm taking care of the kid? Or do I let my husband sleep at night and I take care of the kid at night? And then when the baby wakes up, I take care of the kid in the morning. I'm sorry. He take care of the kids in the morning and I get to sleep. Right? So the correct answer is you're supposed to let your man sleep at night. Right, and while you take care of the baby at night, and then when he's awake, he takes care of you, which is when most predators are active, like tigers, like back in the day. Like, so men should be more aware. It should be more awake. They shouldn't be tired in the morning because their job is to take care of you and the child. That is the correct answer, right? But what you find is on this Reddit, the women would advocate for the men to stay awake with the women at night, where the men pretty much practically get no sleep. He doesn't get any sleep at night. He doesn't get any sleep in the morning. He's tired. He's like all fucked up. And this is an example of like where women would like advocate ideas to hinder the reproduction value of another woman.
Now, is this more Western worldish or is this more?
Well, so this goes
global?
back.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So this goes back to what the beaver video that I sent you. So the beaver video that I showed you, it's just like human nature where like they do this instinctually. They don't think about it. It happens within like a split second, and like it curves their decision. And that's one example. So let me find you another example. OnlyFans, right? So for I'm gonna speak this again. You don't have to talk about this. This is gonna be me trying to cancel myself, right? So when it comes to OnlyFans, right?
Poke the bear, bro.
Look, I'm gonna poke the bear. I'm gonna fucking put it all out on the table, right? Look, look. You don't have to agree with me. I'm telling you this right now. Most guys do not want to date a girl with like a body count of like 50 plus.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Most guys will agree. But if you are a feminist, you wouldn't say that. Right? And as a feminist, why would you say that? Because you believe in like body positivity. You want to believe in like, you know, sexual liberation. They want to encourage you to have as many partners as possible. Right? But what is the end result of that? You are less selective when it comes to men that you want to marry and have kids with. That is the whole point of the feminist movement, right? That is like the female competition going on right there. They're trying to encourage other women to lower their social status within society to have a less chance of reproducing with like a men of like value.
Some feminists also don't want to have women with men, period, nowadays. So I mean,
yeah,
I guess it just depends.
I mean, I come from Seattle. I can confirm there's a decent percentage of crazies.
Let's not just say crazy. Let's just say like enthusiastic. You know. Yeah. Here's
another example. Body positivity. Women are encouraging other women to be like big. Oh, you can be as big as possible. You can be 300 pounds, and people will still love you. And like we know that's not the case. It's the same female behavior where they are encouraging other women to like do stuff to reduce their chance of like being selected as a mate.
Is it not possible, though, as a rebuttal, that one of the main primary driving functions of a lot of the behavior of females for our species is nurturing, right? Mm-hmm. So we are undeniably males for the most part. We do more protective natures. We have more aggression for specific reasons. We even compete in sports for fun, but deep down biologically, we're kind of training to fight other males. Mm-hmm. And so we are fundamentally the protective nature. They are the nurturing nature for the most part. So is it not also possible that it's the great feminization movement where nurturing people to death, it could also be the problem, right? So
I'm lost.
Them trying to help other women to make them sleep around a bunch, and the body positivity is just them having so much empathy and loving everybody else to death.
It's a mask.
Not necessarily with negative intentions, but more just they feel like they're doing the right human thing, like not judging her for being heavy or sleeping around. I'm just having empathy and being a nurturer.
I believe that's where core values come into play.
No.
And no, you don't think so?
No. Because when it comes to women, the emotion comes first and the justification comes after.
Okay, that's where he's going. All right, understandable.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel like this is wrong, so like I would justify why I'm doing what I do by like protesting and shit. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, their emotion comes first, and then the justification comes after.
I mean, yeah, but your heart's a fucking liar. So I mean, you know, you don't always have to trust your feelings. Because sometimes you can feel the way you feel, but at the same time, does that mean it's right?
If you don't believe me, I'm gonna give you another example. I wrote this down. Abortion. I hate bringing I really do hate bringing this up, but this is one topic.
It's an important topic to talk about.
Right. So there are women that are in the upper echelon, the elites, right? They would have multiple kids, but they would encourage other women to have abortion. Oh, I have empathy for them. I want to make sure they have the freedom to do what they want. Like, they say all this.
That's a very touchy subject.
It is, but I'm just saying that's also an example of like the female intrasexual competition. But before you speak, let me say this again. Okay. Let me finish my PowerPoint, right? So if you are a woman in the upper echelon, right? Let's say you're the elite. Like you have resources, you have finances, right? You're able to have kids without any issues. Let's say like back in like the 1800s, right, where the mortality rate was like really high. If you are a normal woman, you're more. There's a 50% chance that like your baby is gonna die, right? But if you are in the elite, you don't have to deal with that. You have the best doctor. You have all the money you can provide. You can guarantee you're gonna have like 2 kids, right? So once you have 2 kids, how do you increase the chance of your next generation lasting further along? It goes back to what I was saying.
Reduce competition.
You reduce competition. So what they do is like the resources that they have right now no longer increases the number of babies that they can have. They use the resources to indoctrinate or bring out propaganda and like body positivity, OnlyFans, bring this into the culture where it makes women want to compete and spend all their money, and resources on just trying to survive instead of like focusing on reproducing.
Not just surviving, also focusing on their jobs more so.
Exactly. So that's what's going on in the background.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going on.
I think that's very plausible, and I just had a point I was going to make, and I just forgot it. But it was, So I think that's definitely very plausible because we're talking about basically evolutionary biology here.
Correct.
Evolutionary biology transcends, why do I feel this way? Because I'm human. Well, yeah, just because we're talking about evolutionary biology doesn't detract from you being a beautiful, independent human, of course. Right. But we do have natural tendencies. But I'm still saying, is it still not possible, though, that they're just also misled?
Yes.
And that they are just having toxic empathy at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah,
maybe both.
Empathy.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let me give you. I'm glad. No. Wait. Before, but let me respond to that real quick. Right. So you know that BlackRock is like buying houses. You guys know that, right?
I didn't learn that until a couple of years ago.
Dude, BlackRock.
But you guys know that's the thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So BlackRock is buying houses, right?
And pharmaceutical companies.
While at the same time, they are bringing out advertisements saying like, hey, dude, it's totally cool to pay $3,000 to live in a studio in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Excuse me?
That's what I'm saying.
A studio?
That's what I'm saying. But you get my point? These are the
$3,000 for a studio?
2,000, 2,500.
I was in Seattle.
I was about to say, dude.
Mine was 2,800.
But listen.
Studio?
Right.
Dude.
Exactly.
There's a big studio, admittedly. It was like 600 square feet. But, yeah.
But the point
Not
is...
judging whatsoever. I'm just saying a studio.
But the point is... But the point is, BlackRock is the elite. They are buying up all the resource and convincing you, the public audience, that it is cool to like be single. It is cool to have like a studio and like live lower on your knees while they eat up all the resource and make you think that like you're fighting for a good cause. Like, oh yeah, I don't need to have children. I don't need to have a house. I don't need to have all this shit. Like they're manipulating you. Is that's all the process going on right now that like no one talks about.
Tony, that's what the media is doing right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like manipulation all day.
Oh,
There's a lot of things that we're not being told.
But the thing is,
things that's not being said. There's a lot of things that need to be said that aren't being said. And it's scary.
Yeah.
The simple fact is a lot of people are buying into this crap.
Yeah, and the fact that when I'm talking about it, like I'm putting like myself on the market, in my opinion. Well, I'm just saying. Isn't that crazy?
You can't cancel the willing.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say.
Very nice.
But yeah, that's my TED talk. One more thing. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Don't go off topic yet, though.
I'm not.
I'd love to add to that.
I'm not. Can I? Let me show you guys something real quick. I'm gonna make sure I'm recording this.
Describe what you're telling us.
Okay, so there's this chick named Aria in the sky, right? So she's a very beautiful woman, right? So when I was saying about the whole female competition, whenever a woman see another woman that is like highly attractive, younger, they have this visceral reaction, this natural instinct to like, ick. You know, like, because they realize it's a competition. It's the exact same behavior. Is the exact same behavior as the beaver, where they do something without realizing what they were doing, and like it's all intrinsic nature within their biology, right? So I'm gonna show you this. I'll show you this video real quick. Can you guys see this?
I can.
So I'm gonna mute it, but like, so there's a beautiful lady, right? And when women walk by them, they look at her, realizing that she's a competition. And as men, they're like, "Oh shit, she's a baddie." But when you see the women and their reaction, they're like, "Oh god, she's a competition." So I have to like make her feel as awkward as possible. And you see these behaviors happen all the fucking time in real life, but you never have the opportunity to think about it or do some research on it and like ask why they're acting the way that they are. And this is an example.
And that goes back to, so I definitely understand that, and I agree that that's a thing. All of the studies, all the social studies that I have read on it is that intra-gender competition is far stronger than intergender competition.
I agree.
So competition between women is far stronger, and also forcing women to look a certain way, that is much stronger intra-gender within the gender than it is a man forcing or pressuring women to act or look a certain way. Intragender is much stronger.
So I in the last podcast I mentioned there were 3 philosophies that I believe. Nobody hates illegal immigrants more than legal immigrants. Nobody hates what was the other one?
Wait. You're not just gonna fly by over that. Wait a minute. Whoa, say that one more time.
Nobody hates illegal immigrants more than legal immigrants.
Whoa.
Right? Nobody. If you are a student in Harvard, nobody that gets into Harvard hate more than like people that get into Harvard illegitimately.
The people that I know in my life that hate illegal immigrants the most are illegal Indian immigrants. Because like India has a huge backlog to move here legally.
Did you travel there? Do you have a story?
I have not. I one time traveled.
Okay, thanks.
I didn't go to India. I living in Seattle, I had a lot of friends that were Indian, and I had like an ex also that was like actually from India, and they all said the exact same thing. They were actually strangely very, very much against illegal immigration. I didn't expect it, and it was just because they're like, yeah, we got our visa and we had like a waiting line. Yeah. We waited for years to legally get in, and they get really mad when they see people just cutting in line. Like, what the hell? Like, you just cut in line.
Like, imagine you're trying to apply to Harvard and you get like a 4.0, right? You bust your fucking ass. You stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get into Harvard, and all of a sudden some fucking 2.0 loser that been like skipping class got into Harvard.
Dude, I know,
at the same rate that you did.
I know guys that had a 3.9 that couldn't even get into Chapel Hill.
That's what I'm saying. So like that was one example.
God.
Okay, wait. So just to finish my thought, nobody hates illegal immigrants more than legal immigrants. Nobody hates Asians than other Asians, and nobody hates women more than other women. And this, I brought up the other two in the last podcast.
Definitely poking the bear today.
Oh yeah, I'm poking the bear. I'm poking the fucking bear, right?
No, but all those statements I feel like were true.
It's fucking true. Yeah. No, it's not opinion. It's not an opinion. It's
like one time I traveled to Japan and.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Go into this, yeah. Please.
No. So I mean, I ain't speaking on behalf of every person of Asian descent, but. When I traveled to Japan, they had a strong like racist hatred towards Chinese. There is a historical reason as well.
There is a historical reason, and I know that reason.
Yeah, a lot of Asian descent cultures don't like each other.
See, I'm not pulling the shit out of my ass, bro. It's just like a personal observation. I was like, oh come on, let's be real.
China tried to take over China. No, Japan, you know what? Japan tried to take over China.
They did. There was a legitimate like genocide massacre. Yeah, there's some legitimate historical reasons, but one memory I remember in particular is so I'm sitting at like this beautiful train station in Japan, and most of Japan is just spotless and clean. Mm-hmm. But I was sitting at this train station, and then there's an older lady, maybe 60 to like late 60s, and she just like in the middle of a peaceful, quiet, sunny day train station, not a spot of gum anywhere, she just hawks a gigantic, loud loogie and spits it right on the ground. And I was sitting next to these Japanese folks that I've just been speaking a little bit of English with. She hawks a loogie, walks away, and they turn to me and they're like, fucking Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to like reality, but that's what happens.
I didn't think that was ever a thing, bro. Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I actually laughed because I was like...
See, you think what I'm saying is just pure fucking bullshit? No, bro.
But it's a cultural
difference. This is Tony's temple,
it's
bro.
A cultural difference.
Exactly, the cultural. That is wild.
From what I understand, I have not been to China. This does not count as a travel story.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't been to China, but from what I understand, that is actually a normal part of the culture. You just like hawk loogies, And so, cultural difference or not, that was so funny. When
you said that in the last podcast, dude. I had to edit and memorize everything everybody said. I memorized everything, dude.
Wow. Oh, did I say that last time?
You did.
Oh,
it's all cool. It's all cool.
That's
I'll take a drink for that.
Hey, it was new to me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I could talk about this intensively, and Danny Solikowski, she talks about way more than in depth than I did. I read her research. Honestly, I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't a statistician, but when she was summarizing, I understood exactly what she was saying. If a woman is in a competition with another woman, the shit that they would do is very fierce. But when she is interacting with a woman which she don't view as a competition, she treats them as a human being. Because you don't see them as a competition. Okay. So what I'm saying, so just a caveat. Okay. What I'm telling you right now is a lens to view the world, but that is not the only lens to view the world. Because I don't want you to interpret that women all hate women. That's not the case. But when you start knowing what I know and her research and understand how women are interacting with each other and why they act the way that they do, this explains a whole fucking lot. Why they ostracize one another, why they just act the way that they do. And I would talk to let me give you an example on the opposite end. If you are a married man and you are talking to a single man, he is less likely to be aggressive towards you because he does not see you as a competition because you are a married man.
We have empathy because we've been there.
No, because you are not a competition. Because if you are a competition, they will act differently.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so same thing with sports. I mean,
there are female intrasexual competition. There's also male intrasexual competition, but all that shit is common sense. Whoever has the biggest muscle, biggest riz, the best riz. You know what I'm saying? All that is simple, but no one ever talks about the female side.
I get you that.
I would say that from an evolutionary biology standpoint, that makes a lot of sense for the male side and the female.
All right.
What's weird though is that if I see somebody in a bar or a club, which I'm 37 years old, there's absolutely been times where I'm at a bar or a club and I'm trying to talk to some girl and then some other guy talks to her. Of course that's happened to me, and I do feel the intergender pressure at that point where I'm fuck that dude.
Yeah. It comes up within you. You've been trying to control it. Yeah. You feel it. Yeah.
But I have this legitimate switch that switches off at least in me, and I can't speak on behalf of other guys. You guys, the switch is when I identify somebody in my mind as a friend, I actually want them, if they can get a girl over me, I actually am happy for them.
Yeah, right. Of course.
And even if we're both trying to go for the same girl, if they get the girl over me,
I'm okay,
I'll be oh man, I'm so happy. Good,
that's my boy. Yeah.
Good on you. Maybe it's because I don't identify them as a threat because, they're a mating threat still. But I don't identify a friend.
Okay, if it happens more times than not, that gets frustrating. For a fact, you're okay, that dude.
Has it happened to you?
No. Surprisingly, and I'm happy that hasn't. But at the same time, it's crazy. It's wild to me that's how it happens.
I'm going with that.
I'm upset because I had a good point about girls going out in the club, but I'll wait till he gets back.
Yeah, man, I've been holding a pee for half an hour, man. I drank a half of a beer.
Dude.
A half is all it takes for me to be my little squirrel bladder's gotta go.
I cannot right now. No, I mean, I'm pretty much almost done. You guys are still. Yeah. I was well, no.
Yeah, I ain't kidding you though. I can't stay too much longer, but.
I feel it.
Man, the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah.
I do want to plan a guy's trip to go out to the Brown Mountain Lights and poke the bear.
Oh my god.
I want to shine a bunch of lasers up in the sky.
Lasers?
If you see something floating over the forest, I have a drone. I have a couple drones. I want to fly them out over the drone and go sacrifice the drone, just bomb.
Okay, now if you're doing that and sacrificing the drone, okay, cool. Yeah, but just if we're actually at another mountaintop and then you see them and then you're flying the drone over there, that's really close. So okay, cool. But if they end up trying to float all the way to where we are, no, I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm not gonna lie.
That just gave me chills thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I do try to poke the bear and then they go towards me?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a little freaky.
I actually can't stay too much longer.
Okay, no. Time to wrap it up. Yeah, I feel it too.
Oh wait, before we wrap it up, one point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same kind of things like saying, okay, the girls are out for a girls' night, right? And then left and right, they're getting suitors. The guys coming up. Oh, you're hot. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you want to come home with me? All this other good stuff like that. Okay. Right? Okay. Long story short, say the less attractive girl in the entire group starts getting hit on.
For you.
The rest of some, not all, but some of the girls would probably look at her like, she's getting talked to. You know, like it's the competition thing.
Right?
It's the competition thing. It's weird, and it's like it's sometimes it's, I wouldn't say like a natural,
and like,
but more so like
So I know it's a hypothetical, but like the girl's gonna treat that girl like shit.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
It's
so
like,
you know
why?
this, right? So now you're equipped
Yeah.
with like what I tell you, like, and now it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Oh, it makes a whole lot of sense, right?
No, it does. But it's made sense.
Well, at the same time, you had to be careful. You had to be careful because like if I give you a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Right?
Oh,
you can't.
I just heard that saying.
You cannot apply it to everything, but when I'm telling you, when you start noticing that shit, it applies to a lot of fucking things.
Yeah.
I gave you an example: abortion, body positivity, OnlyFans, and I give you like a whole fucking list.
Well, it's not just that too. It's also motherhood. It's also a whole bunch of other things too. And also, heck, postpartum
depression.
Yeah,
Depression.
Depression.
Wait. How does that connect?
How does that connect?
Yeah.
Think about it. Some women actually go wild. Say if they lost their child and they see a woman with their young child, that they're like, "Oh, that would have been me." You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Kind of a deep level of jealousy.
Yeah.
Like, almost like an evolutionary level of jealousy.
Sometimes something like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to delve too far.
Like how dare you other female have succeeded where I wasn't able to.
Or I just feel like inferior, maybe, or not inferior, but more so like I failed at that point, and just delves into a deeper, darker spot than she was before.
See,
maybe.
nobody ever talks about this.
The psyche of people is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah,
you know
it is.
what I mean? Yeah, the way our brain works is wild.
Yeah.
When you basically have, I mean, we to this day you still really can't match the computing power of the brain. We're getting pretty damn close, but
I mean,
I doubt it.
Hadron Collider, dude.
No, because let me guess.
but processing power, right? Like, all right. So, but when you pair, let's say, an ultra mega supercomputer, with
multiple ultra mega supercomputers
with emotional capabilities,
correct,
to where it can be confused and tricked by its own emotions, or more strongly empowered by its emotions, depending on the situation.
Correct.
No.
You get a very interesting scenario. You get a human.
No.
Right.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
No. I look at AI as just a very hyper mathematical advancement of just math.
Well,
that's all that is.
Technically, a neural network
math.
is...
Name it a number. Johnny 5.
No. I'm saying it's just math.
Name it a number. Johnny 5.
Is that from something?
What the hell is Johnny 5?
A short circuit.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm a bad nerd.
Movie
Short Circuit is... I saw, that's an 80s movie.
That's correct. Yes. But they were trying to make AI.
Okay.
You don't remember that movie?
Hell no. There's too many movies, bro.
Oh my gosh, it's an incredible one. If you haven't seen it, you might want to take a look at it.
I don't remember all of it, but I do remember Short Circuit was a good movie.
It was a darn good movie.
Yeah.
Is that like Tron?
No. It's more like iRobot before iRobot was a thing.
It was less scary too.
I agree. Oh no, the second one was scary because he short circuited. And he was on a rampage. It was like Rambo, bro. It was crazy. I was like, oh shit. He had turrets and everything. I was like, oh crap. Yeah, no, this was wild AI back in the day. This is the 80s, dude. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, like, modern AI is just like a hyper advanced calculator. It can't make like
it's not just
decisions.
a hyperactive calculator. It's a hyperactive calculator that has centennial thinking.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
They're trying to reach.
No, it doesn't.
Thinking. I don't know if it's trying to replicate itself.
The neural network
by a satellite.
No,
I don't know, dude.
It cannot create anything new. It only creates shit based off of human creation.
Well, technically, yes.
Because no, if AI is so smart, why hasn't it figured out the cure for cancer?
Because we still have a kill switch.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is true.
That's
we have
not
a kill switch.
That is not why it hasn't cured cancer.
If we let AI run loose, we would be dead by now.
No, my question is like, why has AI not invented a cure for cancer? Well, if it's so damn smart.
I guess the main question is if it is so smart and it's got like godlike capabilities, why hasn't somebody typed in a prompt and say cured cancer? If that's the main question, well then there could be a couple answers. Maybe somebody hasn't given the right prompt because it's so prompt based. Or there are still limitations on it.
Because somebody has not put those parameters within it.
But I slightly disagree, though, that it is just numerical based. Right? I am not crazy read up on AI, but I'm read up enough to know that the neural networks involved with like processing with AI is wild.
Yes.
And even though everything AI currently uses, it relies off of human-made content already. The question is, okay, well, we rely off things we've seen and heard. So we rely off external stimulus to create our memories. If AI's external stimulus is human input, it's still almost like a brain relying on external stimulus.
This is Jarvis before Ultron.
No. No.
Seriously.
I hyper disagree with that. There's no way AI can ever create art.
Well,
are you kidding me?
If it can never create art, how can it invoke emotion?
No, I agree.
What do you mean it can't create art?
I agree with them only in the stance that I define art only as human-made. So only with a definition, then I agree with you. But otherwise, can AI create something beautiful? I would disagree.
It would create something beautiful, but can never create art.
Okay, define your definition.
Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say that Jay and I had a very romantic moment on a road trip into Greenville, right? Hypothetically, right? So let's say that I created a.
You mean like last week?
No, the other week. No. I mean, in a fictional land. Let's say a couple weeks ago, Jay and I went to Greenville, right? Okay. And he drank too much stuff that he shouldn't be drinking, and he passed out. And I drew Jay on a couch, passed out, in memorization of this specific moment. Right? It was beautiful, right? And I drew it out with my own imperfection, my own human imperfection. I'm not an artist. It looks like shit. I admit it, but it was made in the moment, right?
Why would you call
it? But the point, because like I'm not an artist. But the point is, it's art because it was made with my own endeavor. I was able to create a specific moment that we can, you and I, two totally different beings, can like have a single moment that we remember. Why we can explain why this moment was special, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say I upload the exact same picture to AI, and AI enhanced it. It made it look way better.
Oh.
It fixed all my correction. It just made the painting I made perfect with no perfection, but it has no meaning. It does not know the point. It does not know the emotional moment that Jay and I created during that moment.
You're talking about the sentimental value.
Right, no, the intrinsic value the intrinsic value of this artistic piece where I made from the specific moment that only I and Jay have experience, and I made something out of it. It's not about perfection, it's about art.
Can you sum it up to say with 3 words, art requires meaning?
Yes.
Would that be accurate?
It's meaning, and the AI cannot produce meaning. It can produce numerical value that will enhance the result, but it can never create the meaning.
No, art definitely has meaning.
What if you put an image into AI, what meaning is it producing when it gives you the result?
Think about it. Whenever you're going to a museum or you're going to an like an art gallery or something like that, why do they tell you to look at the painting and give your actual
No, we're saying art requires meaning.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, excuse me if that's what you meant. Yeah, I was just saying like so what you're saying is AI is basically taking that meaning out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's building off of the meaning that I created that it cannot create on its own.
AKA Tron is looking for perfection.
Is what Tron did?
Yeah.
Yes.
It removed the human element and made it all machine.
Correct.
Right.
See,
I made the perfect system.
Is it perfect?
Thank you.
All right. Let's be honest. The second movie, the first modern one.
I didn't even get to see Ares yet.
Tron Ares was phenomenal.
I didn't get to see it,
but I still think the second one's the best.
Yeah, the second one,
like which is the first modern one.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
Tron is a special kind of story.
I love the music.
Special kind of story.
The music is so fucking good, dude.
Yes, it is.
It's so fucking like 80s, like retro. Is it a retro vibe? Synth?
Yes.
Synth. Yeah, it's synth more than.
I mean, let's be honest. The fact that Olivia Wilde is just looking like a 10 the whole time in the movie, man, like
she was. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good movie.
Like,
she definitely
was bad in that movie.
She definitely won the Intrasexual competition for sure. I'm just saying.
Oh wow.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted his poncho in there so bad. That poncho was fire.
I gotta look it up, man. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll put it on the editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to put that. Yeah, I'll have to see the final.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for like good clothing.
I don't blame you.
That makes sense. I mean, you're the most colorful person here, which I love.
Oh, thank you. I try.
Fashion is also a point of everything I've been talking about. Think about that.
Oh.
Just put it on that.
Oh yeah.
But out of respect of your time, you said like you got to wrap it up.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it was a good time. Like I don't know, you saw it earlier. I was scrambling because like my Chrome
Yeah.
Whatever. Like it wasn't charging. It wasn't the outlet. It was the outlet. So I moved over there. So I was like scrambling the fuck out. I'm not gonna put it in the camera, but I was scrambling. I was like,
well, hey, cheers to a great discussion.
Right? It was fun. It was fun. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, bro.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
If you're AI, reproduce that shit, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna be the guy that created the Terminator for calling it a bitch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I cannot deal with you. You are a trip, bro.
Okay, but all right. With that being said, thank you very much, guys, for coming along. Any last words?
Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it. I think this was a fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
It was
I would like to do
spectacular.
it again.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Yes, thank you so much. Oh, wait, okay. But so before we end it, my friend was asking me like, "Oh, how come you never invite me to like the podcast?" And like my answer to that response is like, my podcast was created as an open platform for anybody that wants to come along. That you don't have to like. I don't have to ask you to come along. If you want to come along, you ask me, and I'll make time for it. Awesome. So like, yeah. So you guys want to come? You're always welcome. That's the whole point, right? And to make this like real life connection that we had and like memorable, we can always look back to it.
Yeah, and poking the bear.
Oh, before we close it, I have to ask specifically you a question.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so when we were on the last podcast, I did not promote it, right? And I think I had like 30 something views with like 70 subscribers. So like, what is your reason even coming back? Like, what is the point? It's just siphon off like the 70 subscriber that I have compared to your 1 million. Like, why are you even here, bro? Like, what is the point? I have my reason. I'll give you my answer, but I want to hear your answer because this is out of curiosity.
My reason for being here is simply the vibe, and I would say the open discussion that though, so far we might have a lot of shared beliefs, we still have enough disagreements that we hear different perspectives. And so I'm here for a couple reasons. The perspectives. I want to hear your stories, and I want to share my stories. So companionship and sharing of information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were trying to siphon off my 70 subscriber. Like, I will protect them with my life.
Not right now.
As you should.
But thank you, man. Yeah. It was just a genuinely curious question because again, I don't promote it, and it's just like one of those moments. Hey, look, here's all my friends. And when I'm not here, you guys are welcome to like just reminisce and like remember these moments.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the point of life. And like
I give you that.
One last quote on one last thing I want to say.
I
saw this documentary about these monks. What they would do is they would go up to the mounds and they would create art with like sand.
Oh, the colorful sand.
Is that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm talking about. Like
yeah.
I remember it, but the point is they go up to these mountains and like they create art out of sand, and it takes them like weeks, if not months. And like once they finish the final piece, it's like the most beautiful thing you ever seen. It's just made with like human creativity, human ingenuity, human artistic like power to like make it happen.
And then they wipe it.
Yes. I'm so glad you said it. I'm so glad you said it before I did because he knew it. He knew it.
Yes,
before
I do. They wipe it.
I kind of saw that coming.
It's because
He wiped it. It doesn't matter.
Why? Because it's a moment in time. Exactly. What
It wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything further than just like the artistic human expression. Oh, bro, I love you for that. You know it. That's awesome. That's fucking dope.
You sure the hypothetical situation about love wasn't supposed to be meant for you guys? So, yeah. We'll. I want to tell you more about the Greenville trip, by the way, but we'll talk about that on another podcast. I guess.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What will be the next topic? That's my question.
We'll figure it out. I'll plan something out.
What could be the next topic?
I try to spice it up. I'm trying to like not make it like just like one thing because like I do like to talk about politics, but is that the only thing I can talk about? No, I don't want to talk about that. There's just too much fucking drama when it comes to politics. So when it comes to aliens and the boys, bro, this shit goes fucking far, fucking ever.
I'll do some thinking too on a good topic, and also, god damn it, I will try to find the name of that mountaintop.
Please do, yeah.
I ain't kidding you. Go, okay, after this, try to look it up based off everything I told you, and you will not find it.
Okay.
Maybe you'll get lucky and you will. But I've never been able to find it unless you remember the name, and then it pops up.
Post-editing, Tony will put whatever it is that you send me, and then like whoever wants to figure it out, they'll figure it out. They're like,
sounds good.
All right, cool.
Yeah. But, all right, boys, thank you very much for doing another podcast, man.
It's a good one.
Everything's been fun.
To the heart.
All right.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Y'all take care.